All praises to the Most High. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, yes, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay, I'm riding on a wave, I am on a wave. To my sin I was a slave, and he died to save me. Broke the chains and got away, yeah, I found a way to give him thanks and sing his praise, so I give him praise. Now people looking at me strange, like why you changed it? Open my mouth with a praise, like what can I say? Yeah, I was going through some things, I was feeling pain. Felt like my whole life was going down the drain. So Romans 8:28 showed me the purpose. Found purpose, my patience, found the virtue. I repented of my ways, changed my ways. Now everything I do and say is not the same. So what you thinking is okay? No, it don't faze me. I just hope to make the most high my habitation. Keep me in all my ways. I prayed for salvation and he showed me. Brand new and broken scriptures to kill the old me. Brand new and potent scriptures to kill the old me. Brand new and potent scriptures to go ahead and kill the old me. I'm on a roll, yeah, I just let go of the wheel and he took control. Now I'm trying to keep it straight, I can't turn away. I just enter into his gates and I bless his name. What you gon' do upon a day, you can't hide your face. To the man who you gon' run to, what can you say? He told us not to fall asleep, so I stay awake. I'ma let you know that he come and he on the way. And from the power of the grave, he redeemed my soul. What does it cost me to balance up my weight and go? But when I go, I can't take nothing away. It may hear that and wanna change, but the conversation, what you feeling is okay. No, it don't faze me. I'ma link up with the saints and we sing his praises. Got me riding on the wave. Yes, I am so grateful that he chose me. Brand new and quote scripts to kill the old me. Brand new and quote scripts to kill the old me. Yes. Brand new potent scripture to go ahead and kill the old me. All for the creation, one mother, two nations, birth rights and blessings, Esau and Jacob, raised skin, thick hair, brother grab your heel, birth rights and blessings, it was our God's will. You ain't know that you were special, you ain't know you had a purpose. They been lied to us from the jump, truth lives in the verses. One father to his sons, we are God to the people who sold into slavery. I support the Egypt, generation population more, multiplying and going strong. We was building all the major cities, they oppressed it with press on. Forced labor put us in the fields, dead babies to the crocodile. Pharaoh's daughter washing in the river, Moses floating up the river Nile. Shoes off up the burning bush, Moses took the rod in his hand. God rained out 10 plagues, brought the people out the land of Ham. Set apart heart to the former, all that opened up the matrix. Lord brought you out the house of bondage, you were destined for greatness. Yeah. But, okay, brand new, give us scripture to get out. Brand new potent scripture to go ahead and kill the old me. Huh. If you were worried about where I met or who I saw or what's what I go to on the lonely, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me. I never worry about where I met or who I saw or what's what I go to with the homies, baby, I don't worry, just know that he got me. If you were worried about where I met or who I saw or that's what I go to on the lonely, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me. I never worry about where I met or who I saw or that's what I go to with the homies, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me. If you were worried about where I met or who I saw or that's what I go to on the lonely, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me. I never worry about where I met or who I saw. What's what I go to on the lonely, baby? Don't worry, just know that he got me.
Something special. Yes, you are. The love of God in your heart. A love that's set apart. Something special. The love of God in your heart. A love that's set apart. Behold, thou art fair, my love. You angel from above. I found my wife and found my good thing. A friend indeed, and a love unending. Imagine, only way to receive is through the Ruah. There's no other love, no other quite like yours. He brought you to me, and I am grateful. Something special. The love of God in your heart. The love that's set apart. Something special. The love of God in your heart. A love that's set apart. Prepare a place for you as Mashiach does his bride. Take you to a place that's all paved with gold. Like the days of old. Or have we been hurt before? My Father's house are many mansions. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. There's no other love. Certain heaven found. He brought you to me, and I found my good thing. Special. Something special in my life. Love of God. Best thing that ever happened to me. Something special. The love of God in your heart. Love of God. Love that set up. Talk to me.
Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is an ointment poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee. Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. Your love is better than wine.
It's all for you. Something special. Something special in my life. A love that's set apart. Love that's set apart for life. Something special. How I desire. The love of God in your heart. It goes on and on forever. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Oh, something special. I love you.
All right, all right. Shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up, to everybody else? This is your Brandon, Brandon Lewis, and this is the Shabbat Scripture Study, Lunar Sabbath, Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study. And today we're gonna be hitting in a couple scriptures today. We're gonna be reading out of Deuteronomy chapter 30. We're gonna be reading out of 1 Kings chapter 8. We're gonna be reading out of Isaiah chapter 3 and out of Ezekiel chapter 16. I hope to be joined at any moment by my Kafa, also known as Judges of Yasharal, him and his Isha, uh, uh, Michaela, affectionately called Taniqua, and I'm also joined by my Isha, Uriah, Yasharal, Yahoo. She's in the building.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody that know what's going on, man. If you don't know, that's perfectly fine. Okay. But yeah, so it kind of struck me to speak on this thing. Well, I was speaking to Kafa, this Boca, about what to bring out, and it just kind of stood out about Yah's promises and his givings and his takings for disobedience. And then that kind of got into marriage, right? And things concerning marriage, because Ezekiel 16 speaks about how he brought Yasharal from a young child up into a grown woman. And when it got to be grown, he came into covenant with her and he gave her gifts, and um, these gifts were characterized as fine clothes and jewels and fine things. And in Ezekiel, I mean in Isaiah, it speaks about uh, how he took fine things away from Israel, or as he called it, the daughter of Zion. Uh, how he took all these fine things and he was like, instead of having this nice fine thing, you're gonna have this horrible, disgusting thing. And that's kind of what's happened to us as a people, right? As we read about, you know, what we were as a people as opposed to what we are now as a people, and all the things in which we partake in, and all the things in which, you know, we have become due to the curses found in Deuteronomy. So, I don't know what's going on with our Aki's, probably having some technical difficulties, but I'll be willing he'll join us soon. And we're just gonna hold it down for him until the end. So let's get started. Let's get into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30. See what we got. See what the Abba brings forth there. I've prayed that not my words, but his words be said here today, that he give me the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to interpret these things and to speak to his children what he would have them to hear. So let's get right on into it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30. We're going to read the whole chapter. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the barakah, or the blessing, and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the master thy power hath driven thee. You know, that's kind of what we're doing today. We sit not in our own land, not in our own authority over the land. And we are calling to mind the things of old. We're calling to mind the things that the Most High Yah had said unto us. And he said them of old. And he spoke about the present time, the near future, and the far future, which we are in today. Verse 2, and it said, and thou shalt return unto the master thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I commanded thee this day. This is the one known as Moses speaking to the children, that when they realize the error of their ways, the way to get in good standing with the Most High ain't by what you think, right? Not what you think ought to be. See, I feel, I just really just don't know. See, I kind of feel like this. No, he didn't say that's how you do it. He said, shalt return unto the master thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Thou and thy children, not just you, brethren, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, or nephesh, that then the master thy power will turn thy captivity. And this is the thing. Many of us are looking for a return or a relief of our captivity from these nations. When truth be told, we are in a deeper captivity in our own minds, right? We are deeply rooted into paganism, deeply rooted into idolatrous minds. And this, by returning to the ways of the Most High, that's the first captivity we got to be returned from. We got to understand this. There's no need in him bringing us out if we're going to come out with the mind of Egypt, with the mind of Misraim, with the mind of bondage and captivity. See? That's why we have to be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds first. Ain't no point in renewing your body if you ain't renewed your mind. Then the master of thy power will return thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee. Hold on now, the captivity. You see how he gonna turn the captivity, then he gonna return and gather you. So you see, the scriptures point out plainly, the captivity is first in your mind. The captivity is first in your actions and your bondage to sin, to your bondage to going against the things that he said you ought to do and the things he said you ought not to do. This is where you are bound in, going astray. First, he gonna bring you out of that captivity. Then he gonna bring you out of the captivity of the nations, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the master thy power had scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of Shemaim, from thence will the master thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. He said, it ain't nowhere you could be scattered that he can't come and get you from if you turn to him. He said, well, I've been doing this all my life, or
I've been abused. I've been, I've been tormented. I've been tortured. You know, I've been living wrong all my life. He said it ain't nowhere he can't come and get you from your captivity. But you see how it first starts with us. It first starts with us turning to him. It first starts with us returning back to the ways in which he said we ought to have peace and shalom in the first place by following his instructions. What is his instructions, brethren? And the master thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee too, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the master thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to Ahab, the master thy power, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the master thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So all these nations and all these things, all these deities, all these people that brought forth these deities, all these evil inclinations, he says he's going to make them pay. Going to make them pay for taking you. Said, well, I was abused. I was this, I was that. Well, those that abuse thee, he going to abuse them. When you return to him with all your heart and with all your soul. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the master and do all his commandments, which I command you this day. You never get out of doing them commandments, brethren. You never get out of it. That is the basis of everything. We have someone who is the ultimate authoritarian, right? So those that rebel against authority, you see why the Most High would hold this in such of a high point of punishment. Because if you rebelled against all earthly authority, how you gonna submit to his authority? A lot of people in their mind say, well, if the Most High tell me, I'm gonna listen to the Most High. I'm gonna do it for the Most High. And we really don't see that in scripture. Well, a person rebelled against all earthly authority, but yet was humble to the Most High. We really don't see it. We always see with all the patriarchs, with all the people, we see where at some point in their life they were submissive, that they heeded the authority of another, even Hamashiach and all his power and all his esteem, or who the world knows as Christ, right? Even him and all his power and authority that had been given him always gave reference to a higher power, to a higher authority that he was submissive to, right? Even in the flesh, you see he didn't really get just blatantly disrespectful with the elders of the synagogues. He spoke factual things, but he didn't try to snatch them out of their positions of authority. If anything, he tried to admonish them to really be the proper people they need to be in those authorities. Explaining to them the power that they have and how if they abuse that power, how they will be judged for it. So we see this throughout the scripture. And the master, thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for two. For the master will again rejoice over thee for two, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the master thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law. And if thou turn unto the master thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, you see how it's just dependent upon you listening and following instructions. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in Shemaim that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to Shemaim and bring it unto us that we may hear it and do. He said it's not difficult. It's not some great task that nobody could do, that you'd have to wonder how we gonna do it. No, you just do it. Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. It said the kingdom of Shemaim is within thee, right? Very near unto thee. See, I have set before thee this day life and tube and death and rasha, or evil. In that I command thee this day to Ahab, to cherish, to care, to reverence the master thy power, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the master thy power shall baruch thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other powers and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call Shemaim and the Arats to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, baruching and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest Ahab the master thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. Pardon me. For he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the master sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. ch.8. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30. There, my brother is.
Hey, shalom, Maki, man. Look, check this out. I'm not gonna be going into full detail about it, but this right here is a confirmation of something that was brought forth through me today on the call today, that I got rudely abrupted, right? Well, I didn't get rudely abrupted the first time. The first time it was just a disagree to what was brought forth, saying that this thing is easy if we apply ourselves. Basically, we apply ourselves to what y'all say to do, how to do it, we can do it. And you just bringing forth this in Deuteronomy 30, saying that this thing is not difficult.
Not
so
at all.
What's the opposite of difficult?
Easy.
So it's but it's only easy to those that apply themselves to it.
That's right.
So that's the whole thing about it. And I'm like, man, I'm starting to see. It's like, we'll do that for another time, Mike. Let's go with the flow.
Bring it out, man. Bring it out. It's on your heart.
No, but it's on my heart.
You don't do it.
I'm just saying it's. We have to be careful as people and as in this nation, especially when we're bringing forth truth and we're bringing things out to share with the people for edification purposes. But sometimes people may not know where you're going or where you're coming with, what you're coming with, may try to block you, thinking that you're not bringing edification. But if they would just sit long enough or wait, and they would hear the edification in what's being brought forth and the wisdom that's being brought forth, because sometimes people will have some type of and this is to whoever it applies to, would have art or something against you secretly or inwardly, right? In their hearts, toward you, but never really fully bring that full thing out, but indirectly saying, you know what I mean? So I just call upon Yahweh Sabaoth, Yahweh Shaphat, that he judge these matters, man, amongst people and show people for who they really are. Because my whole purpose is to help the people. That's what Yah has chose us to do, to show our people, man, we ain't got to be victims, bro. I know as a whole, as a nation, you know, the curse of Deuteronomy in regards of not being in our land and being is done, but individually, as people apply what Yah say, they receive barakahs in their life every day.
That's right. Of the captivity of sin and bondage. See,
absolutely,
that's what's not focused on enough. See, we don't even realize oftentimes how much of a bondage we be in until Yah reveals it. See, people always kind of focus on learning, but what about revelation? Revelation is a lot deeper than learning, because learning anybody could do. That's open. Learning ain't even Kodash, really. But revelation from Yah upon weighty matters, man, that's what we ought to seek for Yah to reveal something that if it had not been for him, we would have never saw it.
Ain't that the truth? That's beautiful, and I mean that. Because that revelation is like when Kepha was there with Mashiach and he asked him, who do men say I am? And Kepha said what he said. He said, look, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father which is Shemayim revealed that. That's revelation over. That's Kadash, because it came from the Kadash one. You know, just like you said, everybody can learn, everybody can, you know, but the whole thing about it in this walk, it become easy. It become easy for those that yield to the instruction that the Most High has given to us to be able to produce what needs to be produced. That right there is a help and not a hindrance. You know what I mean? A person, now a message, it was a message that went forth about sabotaging. A person that's trying to communicate with somebody to bring forth understanding about what may have said, what was said, or how a person may not heard or whatever, just to bring clarity of a thing, that is not a sabotager. Actually, that's a person that's trying to bring clarity to a matter, right? And the only reason why I'm saying it because this is on my heart. It's on my heart. I'm not even gonna act like it ain't affecting me, because I'm like, man, Yah knows. He knows the intents. He knows the motives. He knows every single thing that we got going on in the private sector, in the public. You know, he knows all these things, man. So I call upon Yahweh Sabaoth to judge these matters in any situation that stuff is like that that's happening, where, you know, people may have secret hidden thoughts or intentions or whatever it may be toward someone else or whatever, man. You know, that the Most High will make that be known, that the people that's dwelling in, that they can really teshub and turn to Yahweh, man, and really apply the power that the Most High has made available for us, man. The kingdom is now, bro. We got the ability to do everything that Yah say we can do, man. And I trust that, bro. I got to say, like us, bro. We got it's like a ruach of Caleb and Yahusha, I mean. You know what I mean? We got a mindset of, man, yeah, we can do it. Y'all say we can do it. We can do it. What's wrong with that? But with that, I yield. Go ahead. We're gonna stay within the realm of the lesson. It's all inclusive, man. This is all needed, bro, because this is all real life. It's not no cookie cutter type, you know, oh boom. No, it's like whatever the Ruach desires to be brought forth or to be spoken on, even when he brings forth situations for, it's a way to handle these things. It's a way to, you know, to communicate these things out, to bring these things out. How do we know that this may be the time to bring certain things out that need to be brought out so there can be a revelation of a thing?
That's right.
So yeah.
What we here for, to play a role in that, you know, because Yah has always used people. That's what we have to keep in mind when we get so spiritually minded. Like, we lose track that sometimes the people have to rise to an occasion. The Most High could have killed Goliath in his sleep. He could have caused him to fall sick and die, right? But no, he raised up a young shepherd boy to slay him, you know, to have a certain amount of faith in him to make him step out into these areas of unknown waters, you know, of waters that many other men mightier in the flesh than he. That's why everything now is of the Ruach, really, but the flesh is still a part of it. You know, the flesh has always been scary and weak, you know. To be honest, it's always been the Ruach. It was the Ruach of Caleb and Joshua that made them say, because even when Caleb's body had gotten old and aged, he said, man, if y'all be with me, man, it'd be like I'm a young man out here. You know, so he even understood that the Ruach is bigger than the flesh, but they need each other, you know, and we claim bloodline today. You know, we are the bloodline descendants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But who are you when that blood and that flesh pass away, though? You know, you're gonna have to be Abraham's descendant by your nature, by your spirit, by your ruach. That's what's gonna get you into the kingdom. That's what's gonna make you his descendant. As we see in Luke, when Hamashiach was speaking to a man who had went back and righted his wrongs and who had sought his face to the point of putting himself in harm's way, climbing up into a tree. He said, ye are Abraham's descendant. Have salvation come to you this day. You know, because he had the Ruach of Abraham, not just in the flesh. So anyway, let's continue on in the book of Kings. First Kings chapter 8 is where we at. Told I, yeah. First book of Kings chapter 8. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Yasharal and all the heads of the tribes and the chief of the fathers of the children of Yasharal unto King Solomon, or Shlomo in the Hebrew, in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the master out of the city of David, which is in Zion. And all the men of Yasharal assembled themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the month of Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And all the children of Yasharal came, and all of the Kohanim took up the ark, and they brought up the ark of the master and the tabernacle of the congregation and the Kadash vessels that were in the tabernacle, even those did the Kohanim and the Levites bring up, or the Luim bring up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Yasharal that were assembled unto him were with him before the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen that could not be told nor numbered for the multitude. Listen, this is a wedding feast, Brett, a great one. You know how today we have, we have the little party, we had a little reception with the food and everything and all that. That's what they having. Getting ready. And the Kohanim brought the ark of the covenant of the master unto his place, into the oracle of the house and the most Kadash place, even under the wings of the cherubims. Okay, for those of you that don't understand what's going on, this is the dedication of the temple when it was first built, Solomon's temple. Everybody heard about Solomon's temple, right? This is when it was finished. For the cherubim spread forth their two wings over the place of the ark, and the cherubims covered the ark, and the staves thereof above. And they drew out the staves, and the ends of the staves were seen out in the Kodash place before the oracle, and they were not seen without. And there they are unto this day. There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tables of stone which Moshe put there at Horeb when the master made a covenant with the children of Yasharal when they came out of the land of Egypt. And it came to pass when the Kohanim were come out of the Kodash place that the cloud filled the house of the master. You know, they had to get up out of there because it's only one Kohan who could come into the Kadashim and Kodashim. and everybody else had to be gone, so that the Kohanim could not stand to minister because of the cloud. For the esteem of the master had filled the house of the master. Then spake Solomon. The master said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. I have surely built thee an house to dwell in, and a settled place for thee to abide in forever. And the king turned his face about, and Baruch all the congregation of Yasharal, and all the congregation of Yasharal stood. And he said, Baruch be the master, the power of Yasharal, that spake with his mouth unto David my father, and hath with his hand fulfilled it, saying, since the day that I brought forth my people Yasharal out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Yasharal to build an house, that my name might be therein, but I chose David to be over my people Yasharal. And it was in the heart of David, my father, to build an house of the name of the master, power of Yasharal. And the master said unto David, my father, whereas it was in thine heart to build an house unto my name, thou didst well that it was in thine heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son that shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build the house unto my name. You know what's crazy too, though? They said David had blood on his hands, right? David also had been through wars. So the Most High, in his infinite wisdom of how he do things, he wanted his house being established to be marked with peace. Because that's what happened in Solomon's reign. Solomon, that ain't, well, now don't get me wrong. Solomon did come in, you know, taking care of business. But as far as war, like 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 and all the stresses that come from war, Solomon never had to deal with that. So this house being established in Yasharal was established amongst peace, amongst prosperity, like never before seen in Israel. It had never been seen before. And it hasn't been seen since, really, only to be eclipsed by the Malkut of Yahushua HaMashiach, you know. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build a house, but thy son that shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build a house unto my name. And the master hath performed his word that he spake, and I am risen up in the room of David my father, and sit on the throne of Yasharal, as the master promised, and have an house for the name of the master, power of Yasharal. And I have set there a place for the ark, wherein is the covenant of the master, which he made with our fathers when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. And Solomon stood before the altar of the master in the presence of the congregation of Yasharal, and spread forth his hands toward Shemaim, and he said, Master, power of Yasharal, there is no power like thee in Shemaim above, or on the Arats beneath, who keepeth covenant and kindness with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart, who has kept with thy servant David my father, that thou promised promisedest him. Thou spakest also with thy mouth, and hast fulfilled it with thine hand, as it is this day. Therefore now, Master Power of Yasharal, keep with thy servant David, my father, that thou promisedest him, saying, there shalt not fail thee a man in my sight to sit on the throne of Yasharal, so that thy children take heed to their way, that they walk before me as thou hast walked before me. And now, O power of Yasharal, let thy word, I pray thee, be verified, which thou spakest unto thy servant David my father. But will Yah indeed dwell on the earth, on the Arats? Behold, the Shemaim and the Shemaim of Shemaims cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? Yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant and to his supplication. Let's touch on that for real. Our forefathers took a lot of pride in that house, took a lot of pride all the way up to Hamashiach's time. They had pride in that house, right? Because it was a symbol, like I said, about the marriage. It was a symbol of the covenant. It was a symbol of Yah dwelling with them, right? So for Hamashiach to say it was going to be destroyed, they're like, what? Destroy? You crazy. They ain't going to destroy it. He's going to love his people forever. What you mean? You know, but it said that howbeit he don't dwell in temples made with hands, right? We are the temples. So everybody's looking for some temple to be builded by men's hands. That's gonna be this place in the earth that you know Hasatan rules in. And to be honest, it's already a temple that he ruling in. He ruling in a lot of us. Or he did at some point ruled in a lot of us. Many of us have, through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, bound him up and casted him out.
Bring it out.
You know, and that's the real battle and war that we are in. You know, you looking for a fight in the army with guns and all this old stuff, but it's like you overlooking the battle within yourself. You know, yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant and to his supplication of the master thy power, to hearken unto the cry of the prayer, and thy servant prayeth before thee today, that thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward this place. And hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people, Yasharal, when they shall pray toward this place, and hear thou in Shemaim thy dwelling place. And when thou hearest, forgive. If any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear, and the oath come before thine altar in this house, then hear thou in Shemaim and do, and judge thy servants, condemning the wicked, to bring his way upon his head, and justifying the righteous, to give him according to his righteousness. You know why Hamashiach said to keep your word? Because you swearing in the temple. And you bringing oaths before the temple. If any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear. You know, let your yeas be your yeas and your nays be your nays. You know, don't be making promises you can't keep. If you make them, you better keep them. When thy people, Yasharal, be smitten down before the enemy because they have sinned against thee. Why are they being smitten down, Brother Kafer?
Because they have sinned against Yahweh.
Your own fault. A bitter pill of your own chewing. When thy people, Yasharal, be smitten down before the enemy because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again to thee, what they gonna do?
They gonna turn again unto him.
And confess thy name, and pray, and make supplication unto thee in this house. See, that's that thing right there, that supplication. What's the definition of supplication? Let's just pull it up real quick. What is the definition? What is the definition supplication. One second. Let's see if we can get that pulled up here. What is the definition of supplication? Did you hear that out?
No, I couldn't hear it, below.
Oh, it says the action of asking or begging for something earnestly or humbly. That ain't no little quick little could you help me? That's one of them, you know. Justine. I don't know about the Cosby Show. Is told Theo you gotta beg, you know. Please, please, please. You know, that's a earnest, that's a diligent, that's you know, fervent asking. It said unto thee in this house. You know, not just I believe, I repent. Like, what does that really even mean? What does that really even mean? You know, what action have you put behind your feelings? You know, then hear thou in Shemaim and forgive the sin of thy people. So I need to start that over. Verse 33. When thy people Yasharal be smitten down before the enemy because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again to thee, and confess thy name, and pray, and make supplication unto thee in this house, then hear thou in Shemaim and forgive the sin of thy people Yasharal, and bring them again unto the land which thou gavest unto their forefathers. We just read in Deuteronomy 30 that he was going to do that. When Shemaim is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee. He didn't say if. He said when. It's going to happen. If they pray toward this place and confess thy name and turn from their sin, when thou afflictedest them. Y'all know there is a temple in the Shemaim. You do know this, don't you? In Revelation, it said that it was uh uh it was either people or it was angels standing around about the altar, worshiping the Most High Yah. You know where altars be at, don't you? They be in temples. Then hear thou in Shemaim and forgive the sin. Hold on. Let's go back. When Shemaim is shut up and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee, if they pray toward this place and confess thy name and turn from the sin when thou afflictedest them, that's also how it transfers from an earthly place to the Shemaim. Hamashiach told you about this. He said, neither will they pray on this mountain or at this temple in Jerusalem, but they shall worship him in Ruach and Amat, or in spirit and truth. See? So it turned from a praying towards this place, because we know, brethren, that place no longer exists. It's been destroyed, utterly destroyed. The Most High said it was going to be utterly destroyed, and he said instead of honor and esteem, it was going to be a mockery. People was going to talk about it like it was nothing. You know, the earthly temple. That the earthly temple was a representation of the one in the Shemaim. You know, and I think many of us still pray to the east and all that, when I mean, the context of the praying towards that place is really not even applicable no more. That temple is not there. Scripture said Jerusalem was going to descend from the Shemaim like a dove. It's not going to be builded with men's hands. But that might be too much for some people. I don't know. Then hear thou in Shemaim and forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Yasharal, that thou teach them the tube way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon thy land, which thou hast given to thy people for an inheritance. If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locust, or if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land and their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man or by all thy people, Yasharal, which shall know every man the plague of his own heart, and spread forth his hands toward this house. Then hear thou in Shemaim the dwelling place, and forgive, and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou, even thou only, knowest the hearts of all the children of men, that they may fear thee all the days, that they may live in the land which thou gavest unto our fathers.
Hey, that's that. Oh, go ahead, Aki. Shalaki.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's awesome how even here in Dabarim, when we see this in the Brit Hadashah, that even my in Mashiach, that he's going to come and render to each man according to his work. We see here that Abba, who knows the hearts, right? For only, and then it got there in parentheses, letting know that for thou, even thou only knowest the hearts of the children of man. Yahweh is told like that, man. That's why when it comes to judgment and judging, how the Most High Yah judge, some people might see something and desire something to happen for a person, but it's like, man, you got to know that Abba Yah is a righteous judge, and he give to each man according to his heart, right? Render to each man according to his heart, because he know the hearts and intents of a man. Only he knows it all. So these things is not here just to be taking up space. I just want to say that I feel prompt to say that man, let's pay attention to what the word of Yah is actually saying, man. Get the ruach of the matter, what's being said here, because we don't want to be a hindrance to our own people, man. When we ought to be productive and to produce the fruit that Yah said we can produce by way of obedience and obeying what Yah has said.
That's
and
right.
It's just it's simple as that, bro. It's the simplicity of Mashiach. It's the simplicity of the knowledge that Yahweh gives, the simplicity of the comprehension that Yahweh gives, the simplicity of the wisdom that Yahweh gives. So I'm going to emphasize that, and yet emphasize that as much as the Most High Yah desire for me to emphasize it, until I don't emphasize it no more. If I got to do it for as long as I'm on the face of the earth, then so be it. Noah preached righteousness for 120 years. You don't think people got tired of hearing that same message? Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, brother.
They yearned for it when that rain hit. I tell you that. It was much too late then. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Come to me. 39. Then hear thou in Shemaim thy dwelling place, and forgive, and do, and give to every man according to his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou, even thou only, knowest the hearts of all the children of men, that they may fear thee all the days that they live in the land which thou gavest unto our fathers. Moreover, concerning a stranger that is not of thy people, Yasharal, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. This for them Yasharal only people. Only Yasharal can be saved. He don't deal with no other nation. His dealing with all the other nations is their submission unto us, really, but that still don't mean he don't deal with them. We get first dibs. That's the only thing, but we still supposed to treat them as one who's homeborn, man. I don't see why people don't get this, as if Hamashiach started this. Now it was been going on. It's been a thing. He didn't even say he started it. In no way. That's just religious stuff. Anyway, let's continue. Moreover, concerning a stranger, that it is not of thy people, Yasharal, but cometh out of a far country for thy name's sake. For they shall hear of thy great name and of thy strong hand and of thy stretched out arm. When he shall come and pray toward this house, hear thou in Shemaim thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all people of the earth may know thy name, to fear thee, as do thy people, Yashral, and that they may know that this house which I have builded is called by thy name. What are we kings and priests of? For what? King to who? Priest to who? To the nations. But are we supposed to be wicked kings? Are we supposed to be wicked priests? A Kohanim, or are we supposed to be the upright kind, the one that rule uprightly, that rule justly, so that a person wouldn't rebel against our authority? See, that's the issue. We had servants, not slaves. It's a difference in that. You treat a slave like they are animal. You treat a servant like they of you, because they represent you. When Abraham sent his servant out to find his son a wife, he sent him with gold and jewels and trinkets. He was a representation of his household. He ain't sent him out in no shackles, in no shackles. See, that's the difference between an Abraham and a person that's not of his stature. Abraham understood these things. He understood the representation of Yah in the earth. David understood it. Solomon understood it. Hamashiach understood it. But his thing, he came to not represent money, right? His thing was to represent the power and the uprightness of a man in just being upright in everything. It's like, I'm a king not because I got money. I'm a king because I reverence my father. I'm a king because I take a man from nothing, from captivity and bondage to sin, and I free him. I'm a king because not my will, but the will of the creator, the Shemaim and the Arats be done. Lowly. I am poor, but I'm rich. He lived his own words. "44. If thy people go out to battle against their enemy, whithersoever thou shalt send them, and shall pray unto the master toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house that I have built for thy name, then hear thou in Shemaim their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause." Hold on a second. Read this up. Oh, we lost them. Yeah. Hello?
Can you hear me? Look at okay.
Yeah.
I'm back. 46.
Yeah.
Okay. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near, yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captive, and repent to Shu, right? And make supplication unto thee. You got to scroll up a little bit because it's cut off. Was it did you want me to read to a specific place? You on mute, Aki.
Finish out the chapter for me. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Okay.
Where you at?
So I'm gonna start at 40. I'm gonna start at 47. Well, actually 46 again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start at 46 again and go forward. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captives, and to shew, repent, and make supplication unto thee. We just read supplication, beg, request, ask unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned, we have transgressed your Torah, and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their nephesh soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou givest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou the supplicate or the prayer, the palau, that their supplications in Shemaim, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive your people that have sinned against you, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they be your people and your inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Mitzrayim from the midst of the furnace of iron, that thine eyes may be open unto the supplication of your servant, and unto the supplication of the people of Yasha'al, to hearken unto them in all that they call for unto thee. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth, to be thine inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses, thy servant, when thou broughtest out our fathers out of Mitzrayim, Egypt, O Adonai Yahweh. And it was so that when Solomon had made an end of plowing or praying all this prayer and supplication unto Yahweh, he arose from before the altar of Yahweh, from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread up to Shemaim. And he stood and Baruch the congregation of Yasha'al with a loud voice, saying, Baruch be Yahweh, that have given rest unto his people Yasha'al, according to all that he promised. There have not failed one word of all the good promise for which he promised by the hand of Masha, his servant. Before I go forth, I want y'all to see something here. This right here is synonymous to even in the book of Hebrews, when we speak about it's still yet a rest for the people of Yah. Solomon is Baruching Yahweh because Yahweh has given them rest unto his people. He has brought them to the allotted haven and gave them rest where they can go to sleep unbothered, untroubled, provided for, protected, and everything. This is the rest that comes by way of trusting Yahweh, right? I want y'all to see that. That's the problem with most of our people today, is that they don't fully trust. They say they trust, but when it comes down to the come down, where is that trust? Because if you got that trust, you're going to have rest. You're going to be quiet and confident within yourself because of the word that Yahweh has given to you that you trust in. And it's only going to produce one thing when you fully trust. It's going to produce rest. That means whatever you need is going to be provided for, which gives you rest. Your enemy's trying to come against you, but you're trusting in the Most High Yah, and he subdue your enemies under your feet. That's rest. You see what I'm saying? This rest comes by way of trust, and that trust comes by way of hearing of Yah's word. And when you do that, this is how simple it is. When you truly trust the word of Yah and you trust it and move in that capacity, you ain't nothing else is left to happen other than Most High showing up on your behalf because you trusting in what he's saying. He ain't no liar. His word does not return to him void. So if he said, I'm going to do this, if you do this and you do that, then you better know that part that the Most High Yah said he going to do is done. That's it. That's it. Simple and plain. That's why I say it's that easy. It's that simple. According to all that he promised. But the thing about it is everybody don't move in that capacity. I'm going to give you another good example before I move on. I'm letting y'all use me. He always can and always will until he say he don't want to use me no more.
Y'all forbid.
Right. You got 10 5. Listen, there was a parable of 10 virgins. You had 5 wise and 5 foolish. Now, the 5 wise applied themselves, but the 5 foolish did not. So when it came down to the come down, the 5 wise entered in, but the 5 foolish was without and was knocking on the door and couldn't get in because I don't know who you are. Why? These are parables. Everybody that say that they Yahshua the bloodline, we know that everybody's not going to make it because everybody's not going to do what it takes to make it. That's just simple and plain. We don't know who those people are. So I don't want y'all to jump to conclusions about you don't know who. What I'm saying is, if you hearing this word right now, then make sure that you apply yourself in every way that I would say to apply yourself so that you won't be one of those that are left out. That's all it is to it. That's all it is to it. It's that simple. So let me continue to read. I'm gonna continue to back at 56, going on to 57. So it says, Baruch be Yahweh that have given rest unto his people Yashar, according to all that he promised. There hath not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Masha, his servant. Yahweh Alua be with us as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us. Now, in order for him not to leave us and forsake us, that means we can't leave or forsake him. Now, right. We have to walk, we have to stay cleaving. Now, we know that if a person may stumble, whatever, okay, a just man falls 7 times, but he get back up. You're not staying down there. Hold fast to Yah. You see what I'm saying? Keep pressing, keep moving, keep doing what you need to do in order to be pleasing to the Most High Yah. You know for a fact that if you don't trust him and you doubt, that ain't pleasing to him. And you know for a fact that if you walk contrary to his instructions of what he said and how to do things, that that you're walking contrary to him. And he already said that he walked contrary to the people because they walk contrary to him. So these things that you learn are things that supposed to get you on point to know how the Father is. But unfortunately, everybody's not there yet. So when people come along to speak and bring encouragement, edification and things to let people know that you can do it, that you don't have to be a victim any longer. We're not talking about the whole nation as a whole right now. Individually, you need to work out your own soul salvation. It didn't say work out your nation's salvation with fear and trembling. It said work out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling. So don't look at the nations. Don't look at the nations or where they at as a nation, and think that we ain't, woe is us. No, make sure that you do what you do, because you can be saved out of all that. Even if the nation decide, let the nation do what the nation do. If the nation don't want to adhere, that's on them. But make sure that you adhere to what Yah say do, and you can have what Yah say you can have. It's an individual thing right now, because we know that we're not moving as a nation and as a whole. Why? Because everybody's not adhering to the way that the Most High Yah has prescribed for us as a people. But therefore, but we still can move and receive the barakah from Yahweh individually by our applying what Yahweh said we can apply in our life to attain what Yah said we can obtain. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I'm talking about to the people that's listening. I know y'all get what I'm saying. I applaud that the Most High calls you to see what's being said, because everybody is not. People will make themselves seem like they're something when they're really not. When it comes down to really carrying out something, like, say, for instance, rectifying situations or trying to bring forth shalom about something like that, people are not who they pose to be in public. Because behind the scenes, you want to correct something, you want a person, give a brother or sister a right to rectify something. That's not a sabotage. That's a person that's trying to correct something that was a problem. Situation that happened to me earlier. Yes, I was angry. I ain't gonna lie to you. The word of Yah tells us to be angry, but sin not. But I'm not gonna transgress. However, I'm gonna make it be known. I'm gonna rebuke my brother if he done something wrong to me that I see that's wrong, that's really actually wrong and can be proven that it's wrong. I'm gonna say something. I'm supposed to. What, I'm supposed to be quiet and just be like everything cool when it ain't? That's fake. Anyway, 57. Yahweh Alua be with us as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us, that he may incline our hearts unto him to walk in all his ways, to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers. And let these words wherewith I have made supplication before Yahweh be nigh unto Yahweh Alua day and night, that he maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Yahshua at all times, as the matter shall require, that all the people of the earth may know that Yahweh is Alua, and that there is none else. 61, Aki. Let your heart therefore be perfect, mature, wholehearted with Yahweh or Alua, to walk in his statutes and commandments as at this day. And the king and all Yahshua with him offered sacrifice before Yahweh, and Solomon offered a sacrifice of shalom offerings, which he offered unto Yahweh 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep, So the king and all the children of Yashar dedicated the house of Yahweh. The same day did the king hallow the middle of the court that was before the house of Yahweh. For there he offered burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of the shalom offerings, because of the basin altar that was before Yahweh was too little to receive the burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of shalom offerings. And at that time, Solomon held a feast, and all Yashar with him, a great congregation, from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, before Yahweh Lahenu, 7 days and 7 days, even 14 days. So a total of 14 days, 66. And on the 8th day, he sent the people away, and they baruched the king and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart for all the tubness that Yahweh had done for Daud his servant and for Yashar his people. Hallelujah.
Hold on, yeah. All right, now we about to get into the meat of the matter. Hold on, what's going on with this thing? Second, y'all. This next part we about to get into, this Ezekiel and Isaiah. It's gonna take some eyes to see and some ears to hear what we about to go into. This was kind of revealed slowly but surely when me and my brother stopped believing we could keep the feast days in these foreign lands, right? Because these things were gifts. These things were gifts given to us by our Abba as a part of our covenant with him, given to us to be kept in the land. You know, we were commanded to keep them in the place that he would give us and show us, which we know he did give us a place, and he did cause us to observe these things in the land. It'll kind of explain itself out. So let's get into. I want to hit Ezekiel first, because Ezekiel will cause you to understand Isaiah more when you hear it. So, man, that First Kings 8 was a biggin. It's a biggin. So now I'm about to enter into Ezekiel chapter 16, one of my favorite scriptures, because this is where the Most High Yah showed his heart. You know, it's really it's it's heartwarming. It's sad. Makes me kind of angry in a way, right? Because y'all was to hear how y'all put it, like he married to a damn snake of a woman, just a horrible, horrible woman that had abused his kindness in so many ways. It's like, damn, he talking about us. Yeah, he talking about me. You know, and it's just he really shows you in this chapter right here just how serious it is and how he see it and how he was done. You know, he said, "Man, you killed my children. Like, took my children. You killed them. You went and slept with these other powers. You're supposed to be mine. You're supposed to be a chaste and only given to me." He said, "Not only is you out here to sleep with everybody, he said you paying them." I said, "Man, that's cold blood." But anyway, now we just came from Deuteronomy 30, where he made certain promises. Said, I'm gonna redeem you. I'm gonna restore you. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. We came from Solomon's temple where he was dedicating to Yah, and they gave all these great gifts and offerings and sacrifices, and everything was beautiful and everything. But Solomon, speaking in the Ruach, you know, foretold of a time when things was not going to be right. He said, when they transgress, when they do this, when they do that, you know. Now he's speaking at a ceremony and about to enter into this honeymoon phase. And in this honeymoon phase, these is when all these treasures was given out, all these gifts and things was given out. And then we're going to go to Isaiah when these things was taken. So let's go. And the word of the master came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the master thy power unto Jerusalem, same place Solomon's temple was. Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother an Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day thou wast born, thy navel was not cut, neither wast thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou wast not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. Let me, man, listen, ain't nothing pleasing about you, basically. None I pitied you to do any of these things unto you, to have compassion upon thee. But thou wast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou wast born. And when I passed by thee, I saw thee polluted in thine own blood. I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. And got you together. Now, when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And that's love for real. That's not a hob. That's intimate affection right there. Was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness, and swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, saith the master thy power. And thou becamest mine. Then washed I thee with water, yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and anointed thee with oil. Hey, man, that's a process. Most High Yah said, I didn't get you all the way together. I had to work with you. It took some work. You was no cat's meow when I got you. You know what I'm talking about? You was no cat's meow. You needed some tending to. You needed some husbandry done to you, and I did it. I did it. And I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger's skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain upon thy neck. And I put a fair jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen and silk and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceeding beautiful, and thou didst prosper into a Malkuth. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon thee, saith the Master, thy power. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedest the harlot because of thy renown. It said you started smelling yourself, as they say, and pouredest out thy fornications on everyone that passed by. His it was. See how quick it turned? See how quick it turned bad? It was all good just a week ago. And of thy garments thou didst take, and deckedest thy high places with diverse colors. Now you're getting into idolatry. And playedest the harlot upon the like things. Shall not come, neither shall it be so. You're worshiping things that are not, that shall not profit thee. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and my silver, which I had given thee, and madest of thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them, and tookest thy broidered garments and coveredest them, and thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them. He said, the things I gave you for your pleasure, for your beauty, that I gave them to you to increase you. He said, you took them and you perverted them in ways in which I would not have you to use them, ways I had warned you against using them. My meat also, which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee, thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, saith the Master of Power. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? That thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them? And in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou wast naked and bare, and wast polluted in thy blood. And I saved you out of it. That's the key part about it. You're not remembering that part. I set you in a high place. Now you all fancy and willy-nilly and rebellious. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness. Woe, woe unto thee, saith the Master thy power, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and hast made thee an high place in every street. I mean, I gave you a temple, but you out here building temples to other deities. You even worshiping other deities in the temple I gave you. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and hast made thy beauty to be abhorred, and hast opened thy feet. Spread them legs open. See, when you open your feet, you spread your legs. It goes together. Thou hast opened thy feet to everyone that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, greater flesh, and hast increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered unto thee the will of them that hate thee. No, sorry. Let me straighten that out. And delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast, you know what's crazy about that? The daughter, the daughters of the Philistines, them is Canaanites. We was told not to marry Canaanite women because they wicked, because they are given to all sorts of evil. It said these women are ashamed of thy lewd way. We became so wicked. We put the ones we called wicked to shame. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable. That unsatiable is unsatisfied. A lot of us unsatisfied today. You know, you always want more. Because thou was unsatiable, yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied. Listen, you can't be satisfied with what the Most High give you. You ain't gonna never be satisfied. You think if you but only get this and but only get that, you will be satisfied. No, you ain't gonna never be satisfied. That's the thing right there. That one day, if only if looking at, pardon my French, but that's a saying. You know, if only I could get this and get that, then I'd be straight. No, you ain't gonna never be straight. You ain't gonna never be straight. Not with that mindset. Looking for a sign, none will be given thee. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart with the master thy power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman, in that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street, and hast not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest hire, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredom, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary. So you ain't even hoeing right. That's a shame. Hold on, is my brother gone? My bad. I was wondering why it was so quiet. I ain't got my screen up or nothing. I am so sorry, Brett.
That's yeah. You say what? He told them they wasn't even hoeing right.
It wasn't even hoeing right, man. Ain't even hoeing right. My bad. I ain't had the screen. I just been reading. I'd almost read the whole book. Yeah, not even hoeing right. You got anything to say about what I done read already?
Nah, bro. It's gonna come out in later, but this is beautiful, man. I would that people have ears eyes to see and ears to hear this, and the parable that was how it was put with the gifting that the Most High gave him of his own comeliness. You know, meaning his ways he put up on her. Man, this is beautiful. I go ahead, you got it.
Thus saith the master thy power, because thy filthiness is poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children which thou didst give unto them. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated, and I will gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. You know, the Romans acquired all of those nations that we had whored with. the Greeks and the Romans and all. You know when they came into Jerusalem, you know their army was built of all those people. Because the Assyrians reigned and ruled, and the Chaldeans overtook them. And then the Persians and the Medes overtook them. Then the Greeks overtook them. Then the Romans came and overtook them. So exactly what the Most High said is exactly what he did. Now Ezekiel is coming up upon a time where it's after the Chaldean period. I want to say it's either in the period of the Persian Medes or it's right before it. And he's still prophesying about a future time. See, that's what people get confused, and they didn't understand what Hamashiach was talking about. Because this great day of Yahweh of Yah hadn't came, and in their mind they feel like, man, we didn't been through the Chaldeans, we didn't been through the Persian and the Medes, we didn't had Antiochus Epiphanes or the Greeks come down here, man, and slay us and slaughter. They like, man, we didn't suffer. What you mean? You ain't suffer for killing that lamb, no. You gotta pay for killing that son. You didn't shed the innocent blood of a man. You got to pay for that one. That's what the big judgment came for. Mashak said a man sent his servants. You killed all them. He said he gonna send his son. They'll hear him. And they killed him too. What you think this man gonna do? He brought a day upon you that had never before ever been seen or heard, and never shall before be seen or heard again.
That's right. That's word. Yes, sir.
They didn't understand it. You know, that's why the apostles didn't speak pertaining to the land, because they knew it wasn't finna be there. How they gonna teach you about keeping customs in a land you're not finna be in? Your children's children not gonna be in. They not finna be here. They gonna tell them, come to Jerusalem 3 times a year. No, it ain't. AD 70, it ain't gonna be here no more. He ain't gonna be here no more.
That's right.
You know. But yeah, so that 38. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. You know what happened to the women that break wedlock?
What happens to the women that break wedlock out?
They stoned them. Them and the one they slept with.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also give thee into their hand, and they shall throw down thine enemy place. You know what Hamashiach did with that woman? That prophecy about Yah not punishing the daughters for their wickedness.
That's right. Ooh, you hit that right on the head, babe. You hit that right on the head. That was in the prophecy. He said, when your women commit adultery and whoredom, I will not punish them because y'all committing it. He was talking to the men because what they was doing. Ooh, told her, yeah. Go ahead.
But it was also pending upon the fact of they didn't exercise right judgment by bringing the man too. If they'd have brought the man too, it had to follow it.
Right. Told her, yeah.
You know. Matter of fact, I tend to believe Hamashiach would have had to have joined in. It said everybody in the city shall bring them to the edge of the city and stone them with stones.
Mm-hmm. That's the judgment.
You know, and him being a follower of Yah's word, hey, he's supposed, not only should he have done, he's supposed to have been game to do it. But because the people didn't have right ruling, which also, you know, he should be as equally game to condemn, right? Because they didn't do it. You know, it made way, and that's kind of what happened. Like he said, he shall cause a foolish nation, to bring jealousy to the Yahudim. They'd be like, why you choosing them? Because you ain't got right ruling in yourself. So you done made way for somebody that's supposed to be condemned to be saved now. Same thing, man. Told y'all, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's a good thing. It's a good thing y'all fail. Because if y'all hadn't failed, the sins I committed in my life, I'm supposed to get stoned just like that woman was. They supposed to took her out to the edge of the city and stoned her. And I was like, well, your judges ain't judged rightly. I said, well, thank you. Thank you. I sure appreciate it. I sure appreciate it. I'm glad you missed it. Now let me get up because he told her. What he tell her? Go sin no
Well, you
more.
wait and sin no more. That's right.
You know,
That's
don't mean
right.
keep doing it.
Facts.
Get yourself together, man.
Right ruling is a must, man. You got to do things righteously according to the way. You have people, man, I'm telling you, have people will misquote a thing and won't fully quote it in its full essence, man. Like, say, I'll give you a good example. I believe it's Romans 15, right? No, 5:15. Let me see. Which one is it? Where it speaks about mark those that cause division amongst you and offend. They finish that. They stop right there instead of going on. It says they cause division amongst you and cause offenses contrary to the doctrine, right? Contrary to the Torah, contrary to Mashiach. They don't finish the whole thing. And you know, so when somebody's coming and bringing some type of awareness to a truth and facts, people will say, "Oh, he's causing division amongst." When you're not even doing that, you're bringing truth. You're bringing the real deal about what needs to be heard and to see it in its righteous light, the way it's supposed to be seen, man. You know, but like I just applaud that the Most High just really show up and show out for real, man. Because this stuff got to end, man. And I truly believe, now this is my personal belief, that we as a nation are not seeing what we are supposed to see as a nation, contingent upon, because we all say we serving the Most High Yah, but how? Like where? If we was all serving the Most High Yah according to the way that He said, wouldn't we see a major move on behalf of us as a nation like that for real?
Supposed to be judgment in the land. That's one of the main things. All of the people that truly served Him, they brought with them judgment, right ruling. They came, tore down all the altars. Everybody who was worshiping, destroyed them or either cast them out or something. They brought a separation between the Kodash and the profane. They mended the breaches in the wall. Wherever there was a breach at, they mended it.
That's right.
And that's something that we don't really consider today. It seems far off from us. As the scripture said, who shall do it? Who shall war with the beast? And all this stuff. Man, listen, man. You know, it starts with you. It starts with you personally. Then it starts with you at home. Then it goes out to you dealing with your brothers and sisters. You know, and it's like you can't skip the process. You can't skip over you and go to home. You can't skip over you and go to your brothers and sisters, you know, or you can't do you, skip home, go to your brothers and sisters, or do you do home, skip over your brothers and your sisters and go to the world. I want to deal with these other nations. No, you gotta get your brothers and sisters together first. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's steps in the process in this cookie cutter, fast paced, fast food, microwave world. We just assume everything has a fast lane to it. And the scriptures just don't work like that, man. Most of the patriarchs didn't even get rolling good till they was 40. You know, that tells you in itself that all that time previous to that, they had been being builded up. You know, they had been molded. They was being constructed to be who they became. And even after 40, they still needed some work. They still had some working out to do. You know, but it's the revelation of Yah that would make everything they had been through previously work for their two then. Like Paul knew almost everything it was to know about Torah, but he didn't see Hamashiach in it. And then when Hamashiach appeared to him, and showed him certain things. Then all of a sudden he saw Hamashiach in all the street. Like, man, he's over here, he's over here, he's over there. He's over there, the spirit of Mashiach over here, spirit of Mashiach over there.
Mm-hmm.
He received revelation. And his whole life, where he had eyes but couldn't see, now he could see.
That's right.
And that's the thing we have to realize, is not to be dismayed because we realize, oh, we've been out here being strong in the wrong way. You got to be meek and humble. Don't need to be struck blind on your way to Damascus to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself together. You want to be struck blind? That was a check-in. He said, Paul, why dost thou persecuteth me?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the lane you want to be in?
Right.
Listen, you got people coming to you trying to tell you. Now, we know everything has its season. Might not be your season. Anyway, I don't want y'all mind to get off of these gifts and these treasures the Most High gave to this nation of people, to this woman who didn't abuse these gifts, right? In the process of abusing these gifts, you already say you took everything I gave you and you gave it off to idols. You gave it off to other nations, right? You perverted what I gave you. So continue on. Did you finish this or no?
Yeah, you was reading. I don't. They shall also bring company against thee, and shall stone thee with stone. No, you stopped because I think we started elaborating on.
I think you finished this, and I supposed to have been going to.
Okay, this is what was reading. I was reading Dabarim 30. I believe, wasn't it 30
No,
that I
you
was reading?
definitely wasn't reading Dabarim 30. We had already been
No, you
out
was
of
reading
that.
First Kings. I read first. I was reading the rest of Kings of Solomon's prayer and what happened with Solomon. Remember?
Aki, you did read that, and I want to say we got off into this Ezekiel.
No, you remember? Shalaki, you remember when you was reading and I got on because I wasn't on, and I got on and you was like you was reading and you didn't have it on the post
Yes,
because I
I
haven't
was
read yet.
reading. Oh, I was reading this.
Right.
I flipped up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was reading. I paused. Judge women that break wedlock. Okay. Let's start again at 38. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood and judge, and I will give thee blood and fury and jealousy. And I will also give unto their hand, and they shall throw down thine eminent place, and shall break down thy high places, and they shall strip thee also of thy clothes, and shall take thy fair jewels, and leave thee naked and bare. I'm gonna take it, but I'm not gonna take it personally. I'm gonna use somebody else to take it. These other nations, they're gonna come strip you of everything. Who stripped them of everything? Them Romans. Them Romans took it all.
Right. And then people need to know that Yahweh did it because he removed his hedge of protection away for that to even happen. He allowed them to do that. He caused them to do that. He was the one that was at the head of his army, leading them against them to bring them for vengeance of his covenant. And he stripped the people of all these things that he gave. The people are trying to reiterate today in a foreign land outside of the instructions of the Most High Yah and claim that they're being obedient to the Most High Yah. Listen.
Singing a song of Zion in a strange land his day. Leave thee naked and bare. They also shall bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones. Hey, that's what they do to that to that woman that break wedlock. He said, I'm gonna punish you like a woman that break wedlock. Listen, they shall also bring up a company against thee, and they shall stone thee with stones, and thrust thee through with their swords, and they shall burn thine houses with fire. You ain't gonna believe how they got up over the wall in Jerusalem.
How they
They
get
had
up
to
over the
hit
wall?
them boys up in them towers. They had to hit them with stones, rocks, and arrows. That's what was on the tip of them arrows was stones. And they shall burn thine houses with fire and execute judgment upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou shalt give no hire anymore. And I will make my fury toward thee to rest, and my jealousy shall depart from thee, and I will be quiet and be no more angry. Because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but hast fretted me in all these things. Behold, therefore, I also will recompense thy way upon thine head,
Mm-hmm.
saith the master thy power, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thine abominations. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
Mm.
Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father was an Amorite. And thine elder sister is Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Oh, okay. I have to do a deeper study on that at some point about these other sisters and things. And this mother, I thought he was talking about the land at first as the mother, but uh he might be talking about the older Shemites, the Assyrians and all them. I don't know. Maybe though. Maybe because the older Shemites, that would have been Abraham's daddy and them. Uh I don't know. Like I said, we need to do a deeper study on that. Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if that were a very little thing, thou wast corrupted more than they in all thy ways, more than Samaria. As I live, said the master thy power, Sodom thy sister hath not done. She nor her daughters hast thou as thou hast done, thou and thy daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her, and in her daughters, neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. We can read about this in Jasher when it said, look, a stranger coming through the land, they rob them.
Mm-hmm.
They'd even what old boy did to Abraham's servant? What he said,
He hit him with a when he hit him with a rock.
yeah. What did he do?
Yeah, and told him he had to pay the fees.
He paid the
So
fees.
so, so this is what he did. Eleazar, what he did was he said, "Oh, you got to pay the fee. This is how we do it in here." Paraphrasing. So he took the rock, hit the judge. I think he hit the judge upside the head. And he said, "Here, put it on his tab." Basically,
Wow.
because he treated people as what he did. He gave it to them as they gave to him, and that's what we see back then. Y'all did this. Y'all said this is the law of the land, right? You hit somebody, if a person get beat up and they bleed, and the person that's beat up and bled got to pay the fee. What? So, okay, and y'all want to hit, and then you're gonna try to say, "Oh, this man came into our land and he got to pay. He didn't pay the what you call. Oh, I didn't pay. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here, let me find a rock. Boop. All right, you pay the thing. Now my debt is cleared. That's the law of the land, right? If it's good for you, it's good for me, right? That's how y'all move, right?
That's what they doing today. That's what these police and stuff do. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Whole time they elbowing you, kneeing you, and they charge you with assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, because you spit on one of them or something, or you scratch them while they beating you down. Crazy.
It is crazy.
Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. And they were haughty and committed abominations before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw too. Neither has Samaria committed half of thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thine abominations more than they, and hast justified thy sisters in all thine abominations which thou hast done. Thou also which has judged thy sisters, bear thine own shame for thy sins, that thou hast committed more abominable than they. They are more righteous than thou. Yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame, in that thou hast justified thy sister. See, this awakening is supposed to be one of humility. It shouldn't be nothing prideful about it, man. When I hear these people talk about how we the greatest and we, this and that, man, it's a thing of this, right? Greatness was found in us, but it was only a remnant of people that ever met that level. And it's only a few today, right? It's always only been a few. But when people speak, they speak so poetically as if these characteristics is found in everybody. And it's not, man. It's just not. Let's just be honest and say that it's not. And when you bring that honesty has to come with humility to where you can't be puffed up at that. We need to read stuff like this more often to show what us as a nation have done to the one we call Father, right? What we have done to him and his heart. And to know that we need to move more circumspectly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talk about all this greatness, it kind of puff up the chest a little bit to where like, no, you really need to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's real, man. And people hate to hear that. Like I'd be wrong in certain places to say this, but I mean it's the truth. We know people in this walk right now that's shady, man.
Mm-hmm.
Real shady characters. They got this in these positions of authority that abuse them.
Mm-hmm.
That lie, that cheat, that steal, that fornicate, that do all these transgressions. People that claim the Most High Yah, man. We know people like this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of us have fallen in times past to certain of these ruachs.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just be mindful, man, and be more meek about it. Be more humble about it. We are chosen priesthood. Man, you also the people the Most High talk about that say you don't know how to do good, but you wise at doing evil. I mean, let's just put all the
Be
cards on
honest and
the
be
table.
real. Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna help us is being true and being truthful. That's it. That's what it's about.
They are more righteous than you. These people who we call, Hamites and all this old stuff, man. Granted, all this stuff is Edom included in this stuff. We talk about Edomites and how they wicked and all this old stuff, man. The Most High said, man, ain't nobody did worse than you. And we see that to this day, how when our people are given to an evil way, man, our people go all the way out for that thing. We go all the way out. Just as much as it's been a remnant of us to go all out for y'all, like a
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, like a David, like the prophets, how they'll go all the way out. They going above and beyond the call. It's people among us, man, that go all the way out for Hasatan and evil, man.
Mm-hmm.
All the way. Listen, they ain't got what they say, no filter, no plexus. It's people out here that's like this, man. And some of us know some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the kind of people that Yah in his kindness in certain ways have protected from some of those devices that's been caused to destroy us. We get vaccinated as children. These are poisons
Mm-hmm.
that bring cancers, that bring destruction. We get poison in our food, in our water, in our air. These people get saved out of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they defile, yet they do wickedly. And it's like, how tube is the arbor, man, to do this in hopes that a person might turn. Some people have turned. It's people in the walk that used to be devil worshipers.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be high priests for Hasatan, like. But y'all was patient. Y'all was kind. He was long suffering with these people.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully these people turn and serve him stronger than they served Hasatan. That's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
So that nobody would have leeway to be like, man, he ain't helped me like that. He ain't help you a lie. 53. When I shall bring again their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of thy captives, and in the midst of them. I wonder, was Sodom and Gomorrah Shemites? Was they Shemites or Hamites?
Truly, I have to do some research on that because I really never really dove into that to find out what type of people they were. If to me,
Me
my
neither. I
belief is they was
wonder.
a conglomerate. We can do it, yeah, conglomerate of people from the surrounding area, like Shemite, Shemitic, and him. Because the show by process of elimination, we can also think, well, we gonna do our research regardless. But Shem and him, they dwell together, right? In an area, so it could have been a conglomerate of different people of the people of Shemites and Hamitic people there. Could have been. I don't know. We got to find out.
All right. Definitely can get into that. Then I will bring again the captivity of thy captives in the midst of them, that thou mayest bear thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that thou hast done, and that thou art a comfort unto them. They continue on in wickedness because they see you getting it off. So that's another reason for y'all to punish us how he punished us, so that everybody will know, hey, I'm not cool with this. I don't condone it. You've been thinking I condone it because I ain't destroyed them.
Right.
Which the same thing is coming up now with the return of the captivity. Everybody's look, man. They finna say I done went off now. Everybody looking for this destruction. Now, granted, there is a destruction coming for anybody that ain't got the mark of righteousness. It's coming on you. They're gonna get you. Anybody who ain't separated themselves from this whore of Babylon, you gonna get got. But this thing that y'all looking for, internment camps and all this, so it really makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
When we have people that's truly seeking the Most High Yah. The destruction of the Kadashim always came from their own people.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
People like
persecution came from their own people. Go ahead, Aki. Mm-hmm.
people just lose the context of the scripture, and they take this old Christian doctrine of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This gonna be the man of sin and ruling all the nations, and it's gonna be controlled as one world government and a one world religion. What do you think these banks are? What do you think the United Nation is? What do you think this whole do as thou wilt thing is that is in every religion? Do what you want to do. It's okay. That's why you see Christians that's do what they want to do. God understand. That's why you see Muslims do what they want to do. God understand. Now you got zealots in each part that do really cleave to the word. They cleave to the ruach of the thing. Them be the people that a lot of us condemn falsely. We condemn the righteous with the wicked, and it ought not to be so. Because I done met some Muslims that's better than a lot of you Messianic Hebrew niggas. And I'm gonna be honest with you about it. It's a lot of Christians that's better than a lot of you niggas too. So just cause you claim Hebrew Israelite and all this whole stuff, man, in the context of the scripture, man, you're not what you think you are, to be honest. It just is what it is. So there is a judgment coming upon those that really ain't right. Right? And it's for the same reason he punished us. Like you really think you tough. Let me show you. Let me show you in front of everybody.
Right.
So that they'll know, like he said, that they may know that I am the master. They know I am Yah, Yahuwah, Yahweh. They gonna know. Hey, listen, man, that man you don't play around. You see what he did to old buddy now?
Right. So you see what he did to old buddy now?
Hey, listen. That's gonna make people turn. You ever seen one of your siblings get tore up in a whooping real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh, now everybody want to run around and go get some get right now. They see that.
Listen, they cleaning their room. Hey, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Vacuum
Everybody
come
get
on
right.
out of nowhere.
Listen, that's what he gonna do, man. It's time. That's what's coming forth. Ain't no reason to be. Listen, if anything gonna happen, the righteous of y'all, the people that's really with it, they're gonna really stand up and start rebuking our own people, our own brethren. And
Come
our
on now.
own people and brethren, they gonna give us over to these people, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
You looking for the heathen to do it. No, nigga, you gonna do. You the one that said, I never do. I love you. I do. You gonna be the one. Oh, he think he gonna rebuke. He gonna tell me about myself. What? Call them people on it, man. Call that hotline on. Call that special forces group they got going around picking people up. Call them. He need to be judged. This the kind of people we are, though. This kind of people most high y'all talking about in these scriptures. The one that at one time was beautiful, at one time was nice, but you've been perverted.
Mm. Keep it going. Bring it out.
You know, it's just time to stop it with this whole end time stuff people looking for, man. That's how it gonna creep upon you like a thief in the night. Because you looking for something that is not gonna happen like you think.
So they claiming that they woke, but they wide sleep. They sleep. Wide sleep. Sleepwalking.
Groping at the wall at noonday. Drunk, but not with wine.
Right. We.
It was gonna play out how everybody say. It wouldn't be no mysteries. When he coming back, got to be about now. See us in these camps. Got to be about now. All this what's happening is, and it is like certain things that I don't know how it play out. Like we got the two witnesses and all that. You know what I'm saying? That may actually be a thing where these people return and they preach and they teach. That could be a thing. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into a lot of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is that most of us is following the same lines of Christianity, the same prophecies. And Christianity ain't left no room for who these people are and the workings and the dealings that have always been going on with these people, and for any change to happen with these people, and for the wicked among us to be more wicked still in regards to these things. They ain't got none of that in there. So it can't anybody that leaves out who we are, who we've always been, who we are today. If they leave that out, man, I just don't got no belief in it. It's tainted to me. They doctrine is tainted.
Mm-hmm.
Paul said, man, this thing ain't hid. If it be hid, it be hid to them who are lost, man.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no covers on this thing, cause y'all would that it be known so that when things come to pass, people gonna know. If he hide everything, how we gonna know it's that things happening is what he said?
Right. That he did it, that he spoke it and it came about just like he said it. So we can praise him for being who he is.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. 55. When thy sister Sodom and her daughters shall return to their former estate, and Samaria and her daughters shall return to their former estate, then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former. That's listen, people don't be talking about this. Sodom and Gomorrah is supposed to rise again. And they was one of the wealthiest places in the world at that time. Said it was the greatest. It was the greatest cities of that time. One of the hubs. It was like America, pretty much.
Mm.
They gonna rise back to that same status. When they rise to that status around that time, we're gonna be rising to ours. Why ain't nobody looking for this?
Mm. Cause
Who is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah?
they busy looking for FEMA camps and
Right.
a temple being built and the Antichrist come.
That's
Stuff
what they
like that.
looking for.
Mm.
But we are seeing certain nations in Africa start to puff their chests out a little bit, though.
Mm.
You seeing Ghana and all them talking about they finding gold, they finding things and all that stuff, man. You know, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Might have something to do with this. But they gonna return to their former estate, and we shall return to ours. Told I, yeah. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by thy mouth in the day of thy pride, before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that are round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thy abominations, saith the master. And thus saith the master thy power, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done, which hast despised the oath in breaking the covenant. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish unto thee an everlasting covenant. Then thou shalt remember thy ways and be ashamed. Then thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant. That's crazy. Whatever Sodom and Gomorrah build themselves up to be, they gonna still be servitude to us. Little sisters. Like they be like, that's the little homie. And I will establish my covenant with thee, and thou shalt know that I am the master. That thou mayest remember and be confounded, and never open thy mouth any more because of thy shame, when I am pacified toward thee for all that thou hast done, saith the master thy power. You know, that's the thing. We still opening up our mouth, man. These groups out here, man, that's out here claiming Yasharal, that's out here doing us a disservice, that's out here bringing us a reproach. We gonna shut their mouth, man. Them the kind of things we gotta start looking forward to. These people that's bringing a reproach of our own. See, we looking for, the end of police brutality, the end of redlining, and the end of taxation and all. We got to first pray for Yasharal to be purified. That Yasharal be purified of all those that are a stumbling block to the righteousness of our people. Why we can't come together? Because it's people that's prohibiting that. It's people saying you better not go to that gathering. We gonna ban you. We gonna afflict you if you go to that gathering. We don't deal with it. You don't have our permission and all this old stuff.
It's crazy.
And it's like we got to start praying for them type of people to be removed or to be made of none effect. Let their words and stuff fall on deaf ears. Let not people be fearful of this stuff, like that type of stuff, man. We praying against the wrong thing. We praying against the hand of y'all when the reason y'all brought his hand forth is still amongst us to this day. We trying to put band-aids on gunshot wounds and the bullet's still in us. And we wondering why I'm still bleeding. Put the band-aid on it. Man, you got to go in there, dig that thing out. You gotta sew it up. Then you put a band-aid on it. You didn't jump ahead of the game.
I'm not even. It's not even a laughing matter, but just the idea of thinking that, seeing that in real time, you get shot with a 40 cal, pow, and you go put a band-aid on it. But it ain't even. Somehow it didn't even go all the way through, but it's there. And you trying to put a band-aid on it as if it's going. help you or heal you in some type of way. It ain't no healing. That's a slight. You can slightly heal. You know, you kind of. Hey, even with a little band-aid, I don't think that ain't gonna do nothing. At least
You
put some
really make
gauze
a
on that
fool out
thing.
of yourself. You're making yourself appear foolish.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Cause anybody be like, "What is you doing? Stop it! Stop it! Don't shoot that little bitty."
Right.
You know, that's kind of the mode. Like, and the crazy part, you think yourself wise when you do it. Like, see there, look at that. Look at that. I put that band-aid on that. I took care of that. And the wise people like, what? You did what?
Bro, you leaking all over the place, man. It's gushing. It's gushing.
Man, don't you know you're dying
You
still?
right. He put the band-aid gone because the blood and pushed it out the way. Look at that, man.
Man, that
I'm
band-aid ain't even brown no more. It's red.
right.
And it's all right. It's all right. I took care of that. I took care of that. That's how we do, man.
Ezekiel. Now, family, look at this. Look how what Aki just brought out. Abba Yada allowed this thing to be brought out, and what he's about to bring out now. Yashayahu 3. Look at it. Look at the comparison and watch how the Ruach move and bringing forth the knowledge and the understanding, the comprehension of these things, man. This is beautiful. Please pay attention.
Oh yeah, this is the crux of the matter right here. This is what it's all about, so that we can understand that we in a time right now that's supposed to be more of repentance and more so of that heavy supplication that Solomon talked about in 1 Kings 8, you know, of the prayer and the supplication and the seeking with our whole heart that came from Deuteronomy 30, you know, with our whole heart and our whole soul. That's the time frame we're supposed to be in now. We are supposed to gather ourselves together. Let these feasts see, and then it's like we're not even coming together in the right mind. When we come, when we assemble ourselves together, it ought to be unto perfection. Like, are you checking your brothers and sisters and seeing what they in need of and how they could be perfected? Are you going over finance? Are you going over marriage? Are you going over, you know, right ruling and certain things? And certain, are you just, hey, shalom, yeah, hey, and y'all go on? You don't know this person damn near about to kill themselves, but they put a smile on at the gathering. You ain't checked and sawed in the nuts. Is you really okay? Are you okay for real?
Right.
We just be like, how you doing? We don't really be wanting to know what people, how they
Really
want to be for real.
Right.
They be like, man, you know, I'm about to kill myself. You ain't ready for that conversation. But this supposed to be the reasoning. We are in the land of our oppressors, brethren.
Right.
It can't be well with thee. I mean, no, I take that back. It can be. If you began to live or began to bring out the kingdom of Yah that's within you, you know, when you develop the fruits of the Ruach and you began to walk in that, that's when a man can have shalom in the midst of adversity. Now, we all should be working towards that, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm not there yet. I still get angry, quite angry. Frustrated. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not there. I'm working. I'm trying to get y'all showing me that this is the path I'm supposed to take to learn how to meet frustration, to meet anger and all this stuff, to meet it with the heart. And that's just something that I ain't quite grasped. Still got that worldliness in me that, you know, eye for eye, foot for foot, tooth for tooth, foot for foot, and all this old stuff. That's where I'm still kind of coming from. You know, but Mashiach showed us a different way. You know, that's a part of the rebirthing process. That's a part of that renewing of the mind. When you read stuff like what we just read in Ezekiel, man, when you read what we read about Ezekiel and you know we that woman, how hypocritical is it of us to have any grudges against anybody for anything?
We should be one of the main ones that be willing to rectify and reconcile with our brothers and sisters. If we're making claim that we are high of the Father Yahweh, right? And that we are high of our neighbors as ourselves, do we really? When y'all allow a situation to happen or whatever, are you really about that life? Really?
Hey, we supposed to be like the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. We got to be cool with their stipulations. They be like, they hit a man in the head with the rock and the man bleed. The man's supposed to pay them for bleeding. You supposed to be the man that paid for the bleeding. Hey man, here you go, man. Here you go, man. My bad for bleeding all over you like that, man. That's really kind of basically the concept of hobbing your brother. Though he slay me, yet will I baruch him. I ain't saying it's easy. Hey, listen.
Well, that's Yahweh now. That ain't that.
It ain't me talking.
Yeah, that ain't
I told
right.
him to use me. He used me because I don't. Hey, listen, that's not of me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Yahweh. Though Yahweh slay me, yet I will baruch him. You know, and he say nothing about your fellow man now. Now. The word tells us that if your brother do some wrong to you or whatever, you rebuke him then, right? And don't bear no sin because of him. Some people will look at that in different ways. They'll look at it like, oh, that person doing some transgression. If I don't say nothing, then I'm held bound by the transgression that he did because I didn't say anything. No, that means that if that person did sin a transgression against you, you say something to him about that at that time, about what they done to you, and rebuke him and correct that, and don't go off holding a grudge on that one. Because it's commanded in the word that we are not to bear a grudge against any of our people. So we're not to hold grudges at all. We're not to carry hate in our heart toward one another, but we are to rebuke one another if somebody get out of line or trespass against. Yes, if there's some injustice going on, some partiality and judgment going on. Yes, I'm gonna say something. Your brother gonna say something. And unfortunately, though, everybody is not always accepted, and it's not always viewed in the right light, depending on who is narrating the thing, right? Depending on the person that's narrating the thing. So the truth of the matter is that, man, are we who we say we are, right? And if we are, then we're gonna show that forth. We're gonna repair breaches. We're gonna work toward fixing it, but it takes two to make that thing work like that. I can't be willing to say, hey man, let's and the other party or vice versa. And I'll be like, somebody asked me, man, let's talk about it again. I'm like, nah, man, I don't talk about it. I ain't working. Bro, I'm not. How am I moving in the root of Yahweh like that if I don't even want to do it? Even I would say he'll listen if you turn wholeheartedly to the community, to repent. He'll listen. But you have to turn wholeheartedly and repent to do so. But if you stopping that from even happening, how is the root of Yahweh really dwelling in you? You got you dwelling in you, and you trying to make it seem like it's Yah. Come on, man. We got to do right, man. This is for all of us, man. The word cuts us all, man. And we got to adhere to these things, man, righteously, man, truly, man, and quit playing the wing. This ain't about popularity. This ain't trying to get named. We trying to get right as a nation to the Most High Yah, because it's to him that we broke his heart. Our ancestors broke his heart as a whole. You had individuals in the nation that did right, yes, but we're talking about as a whole. There came a point in time in the prophets where Most High said he getting rid of the righteous and unrighteous alike. So, that's what that's about, man. It's like, be for real. If you really are your people, you know how you would want to be treated. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you like to, treat people how you truly want to be treated, man. And shame on anyone that when it's some injustice or some unrighteous thing going on and the person speak up for it and they don't want that person to speak on, they try to break, man, shame on you.
That's right.
So yeah.
Let it out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be let out. All the steam out, but y'all know what he doing, man. And we, let's not get it twisted, y'all. People would try to downplay a brother that's moving in the ruach of Yahweh to bring a message forth. We are not the ones that say who Yah can and who Yah would not use, right? Yah chooses to use who he chooses to use. And people can get caught up in, I'm not listening to him, that's coming from him, or coming from her, coming from them. You know what I mean? Like, what? Bro, if you a child of the Most High Yah, couldn't you tell and discern the voice of Yah when it comes forth? You should be able to if you really spend time in the word of Yah, like like people be posing they do. Like they really be in. So the thing about it is we're still yet learning, right? But the thing about it is, as you learn, please do not deny the power that comes by way of knowing and walking in what Yah has commanded and what Yah said we can do and have. Because that power is that ability to bring forth what Yah say we are able to do if we apply what He say we are to apply. We can do it. There's nothing, man. There's nothing we can't do outside of. I mean, we can do anything as long as Yah strengthen us. That's the whole point about it. Yahweh strengthening us with the ability and the capability of bringing forth what Yah requires for us to bring forth in this body. And I'm a stand on that. It's easy. Yes, it's easy if you yield and you give in and you apply yourself to what Yah say. It's easy. Everybody ain't doing it though. But that don't mean that the word of Yah is ineffective because everybody ain't applying themselves to bring forth what Yah's words say we can bring forth. That just means that it's a defect in the people. They may not move in what Yah say move. They might have a different perception about what Yah word is actually saying. Now, Yah words say one thing, but they might perceive it to be something else, and they move in it like that, and it don't work for them. So they think it's hard because they're not moving in the righteous, in the true knowledge and understanding of what the word is actually saying. Laws, statutes, and commandments. People think that, man, listen, if you follow, how are you going to confess a fault or wrongdoing, which is missing the mark, walking in sin, transgressing Yah's law, if you think that you can apply what Yah said you can't apply? When He said you can only apply this at a specific time, but you said you can apply it anywhere, and you doing that, how are you gonna cry out and confess that fault? No, you ain't gonna confess that fault because you think you are right, because you think you're doing something. You think you're doing it according to Yah's way, and you're not doing it according to Yah's way. So there's no need for you to cry out or confess these things because you feel like you're all right. But in Yah's sight, you're not. When it comes to His instruction, if you holding fast to the instruction of what is written and saying you're doing it according to Yah's way, and you're not really doing it according to Yah's way, now you have made yourself to be a liar. These are important issues that we have to deal with. And unfortunately, everybody do not want to deal with these things. They feel like you're being divisive. There is no unity there. How's going to be unity with some lies? Unless you're dealing with it can be unity amongst people that don't know, that think that that's the right way, but it's not, because it's not about us. It's about Yah's way. It's about Yah's truth. It's about us walking according to what Yah said and acknowledging that the things that we're not able to do because of what He commanded it, and He said to do it, to acknowledge these things and confess these things, man. It's a reason why we've been scattered, because the people has not adhered to the things that Most High Yah gave them when He brought them into the land. I mean, it goes beyond that too. Not caring for the poor and widow. Man, it's all kind of stuff, bro. But it's like, bro, if you stopping the message from coming forth, whom Yah chose to bring forth that message, bro, how can you receive that shalom? How can you receive that like that? I don't need you. I don't need you. Yes, you do. I beg to differ. You do. You need me. I need you. We need each other. Because it's some revelation. I'm telling you, it's some revelation that Most High Yah has given to individuals that everybody don't have. And when we come together, these things get brought out so we can be built up together. Everybody ain't an evangelist. Everybody's not a prophet. Everybody's not an apostle. Everybody don't speak in tongues. Everybody don't interpretate tongues. Everybody don't have gifts of healing. You get what I'm saying? But with all these individuals that do have these gifts, when you come together, you must let these things work together so it can build up the body, man. And if you ain't doing it, then you are a hindrance. Then you are the sabotager. Sabotage. I sound like my daddy. Sabotager. And I mean that. And it ain't even about me. Y'all mean it. You don't believe me? May the Most High Yah bring forth demonstration. Total Rabbi Yahweh. Basham Yahushua Mashiach. Hallelujah. I yield.
That's right. Okay, now we've come and seen promises of Yah of prosperity and of destruction from Deuteronomy 30, 1 Kings 8. We've seen the bestowing of gifts and treasures in Ezekiel 16. Also, we've seen where Yah actually gave these gifts and treasures at in First Kings 8 with, the bringing forth of his temple and Solomon and his reign and how it was peaceful and everything. Now we about to get into Yah saying that he was going to strip the land
Mm.
of things. And he was going to strip the people. And as always, he went into the speaking about a woman or of women, of a haughtiness and of kind of like a Jezebel type spirit, but
Mm-hmm.
who has all these things that they trust in. See, a lot of our people trusted in the fact, oh, we got the temple of Yah here, we got the tabernacle, we got the Sabbath, we the people. Just like today, people still, we the people. You trusting in this stuff. When
Mm-hmm.
Yah is wanting the ruach of a thing, he's looking upon the inner man, and a lot of our inner man is wicked.
Mm-hmm. Come on
Right?
now.
He's imploring us to work on our inner man and to be renewed in our inner man and to die of ourselves and to be reborn uh in a ruachni nature or a spiritual nature to
Mm-hmm.
cleanse our temples of unclean ruachs so that the ruach hakodesh can come and dwell within us.
That's right.
All right, so let's get into it. This is Isaiah chapter 3. For behold, the master of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Yehuda the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the nob and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, the honorable man, the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. And the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable.
Mm-hmm.
See, this was not the structure that Yah gave to his bride at the beginning. At the beginning, he gave them wise counselors. We see this with, Samuel and different prophets, Nathan and all these kinds of things. And he gave them wise princes and things like this. Saul started off wise. He started off right. He messed up, gave it to Dawood, and so on. So this is a deterioration that's happening, right? When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. You know what that means? Everybody else ain't got no clothing. That's poverty that came upon the people. You must be wise. You got a shirt. You got a clothes.
Oh, oh
Hey,
wow.
that's kind of the context of what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much he's saying he gonna strip the people. That trivial things will be a sign that you deserve to rule and reign. We see that now. Like people picking the wildest people to rule over them because
Mm-hmm.
they understand this or that. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler over the people. For Jerusalem is ruined and Yehuda is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the master, to
Mm.
provoke the eyes of his esteem.
Mm.
The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. We're talking about Sodom again.
Mhm.
They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Who rewarded the evil?
And they did unto themselves by their doings, right?
Mm-mm-mm. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they
That's right.
shall eat the fruit of their doings.
That's right. Every man rewarded it according to his own way. Go ahead,
Yep. We saw that in 1 Kings 8.
Mhm.
Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him.
Mhm.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err
Mhm.
and destroy the way of thy paths. The master standeth up to plead and
Mhm.
standeth to judge the people.
Yahweh does it. That's right.
Christianity would have us thinking he's begging.
Mm.
This pleading is a judgment.
So is.
It's a checking. It's a reckoning. You know, the master will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil, and the spoil of the poor is in your houses. These people that rule over us, he said he's gonna judge them.
Mhm.
They coming out, he taking the tops off.
Mhm.
That's what I said. We ought to be looking for these people that's in these assemblies to start coming down, start being destroyed. You know, it should be by their own congregations, to be honest. Their own congregations ought to root them out if they was really righteous.
Mhm.
You know,
Ah, but they over there man pleasing and man
man,
worshiping and yeah, double honors to my moray this and all esteem to my moray and
I rock.
moray that. Come on now, all esteem and glory and honor to your pastor and
Don't you
Aki
talk
and
about my pastor.
you see what I'm saying? Weird.
They doing, they wilding out. The master will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof, for ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your house. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor? Saith the master, the power of hosts. Moreover, the master saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Now we're finna get into the meat of this thing.
Hey, Aki, before you get into that too, let me clarify something just to make this clear as well. Because I said double. There's nothing wrong with giving double homage to an El Zakan that's truly deserving of that double honor that really does the work for real, truly show a high. What I'm saying is people are going overly all the steam and kabod that belongs to the Most High Yah and giving that to men. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Those are terms and phrases, usually applied to Yah himself,
Right.
right? When we say all esteem and all praises, we're referring that all honor and esteem is due to the creator of the heavens and the earth, not to some
Mhm.
man over the assembly. He should be humble enough to take that and point that to Yah.
That's right.
Not me, but him.
That's right.
You know, he should rebuke the people, admonish the people. We see the Malakim rebuke men for praising them.
Bow down. Don't worry. Don't do that.
Listen, man, I'm just a servant like you. Don't get up.
Right.
But here we got Negroes just accepting this stuff.
Mhm.
It's really bad. That's why we see verse 16 happening. Moreover, the master said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks, one tongue out. He just spent the whole time talking about the nation and the structure of the nation and the rulership and how it's been perverted and how it's given towards wickedness. Then he go into this daughter of Zion. I don't know how
Make it
most
plain,
of
man.
us took this and just made it be strictly about women.
Make it plain, Abba. Go ahead, bro. Make it
We
plain.
made it be strictly about women when in true context, I've been a stickler now for pointing out the context of scripture.
hmm
In context, he's talking about this nation.
That's right.
And like I haven't seen it pointed out that This is exactly what it's talking about. And if he said you have all these things that's nice, but I'm gonna replace that with something that's bad, why they never put the like what did he give? That's the whole thing. If he gave you something and it's nice, that was a metaphor for something. A metaphor for what? And if he took it, that means he took that it was a metaphor for. People, when did he give it back? Anyway, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, they done took what I done gave them, and they done made an abomination out of it, like he said in Ezekiel. Therefore, the master will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. He said he put a fair crown upon the head of his bride, daughters of Zion, and the master will discover their secret parts. In that day, the master will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. Didn't he say he gave her chains and bracelets? The bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. I don't even know what all this stuff is, but whatever it is, she sounds sharp. She sounds like she is looking like a cover girl, but that's not going to stay. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth and burning. Instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. And burning instead of beauty. That men, see, that show you right there, he was talking about the nation. Show you right there. Because now the men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in war, and her gates shall lament and mourn. And she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. That's where they brought the temple to.
Yep, that's the
Even
land. That's talking
with the
about the
ground.
land right there.
Brought that thing even with the ground. Told I y'all. Shout out to Sister Cindy Smith, always supporting. So we must be humble. We must be humble in dealing with one another. That's the way a small child comes to us. They are so humble. They don't understand everything, but they are learning. That's right. That's right. Shalom, Sister Cindy. Well, yeah, man. Y'all, this is what we should consider about y'all, right? Y'all took this stuff, but he took this stuff for a reason. Like you said, we didn't reverence what he gave us. We didn't reverence him. We was given over to all these diverse lusts and all these evil ways and evil inclinations. So he said he made us beautiful, and we began to be puffed up in that beauty. So he took what we found beauty in. We found beauty in having a land. We found beauty in having a temple, having all these feast days and stuff, having all this stuff. We found beauty in it. And our chest got puffed up. So he took it from us in hopes that we become meek and humble. So that's what we need to be first and foremost, is meek and humble and not prideful in any sense of the way uh, of the word. If anything, have a pride in him. Be too proudful to cross him. No, I can't do that. That's against my arbor. No, I'm not doing that's against my arbor. We gotta be that good wife. You know that good wife, she can't do nothing without her husband. Nah, I can't. I gotta ask her. I don't think he gonna let me do that. We gotta be like that, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what he calling us to be. Not to be. He said this woman is haughty. She got a stretched forth neck. She going tinkling about with the bracelets and the ornaments. She just thinks she hot stuff.
And let's not forget though, in previous other scripts that we read about the woman being compared to a woman that forget her husband,
right,
and her children, right? How all this stuff go hand in hand with each other. Haughtiness, a haughty woman will forget her husband, will not adhere to the instructions or the correction or the guidance of the headship of the husbandman, which Abba Yahweh is and has always been and always will be. You know,
what should a woman like that expect from the Most High? Yeah, should she expect kindness and bear cause to befall her?
Right.
So it ain't no suggestion that we be this meek and humble wife. It's mandatory. Ain't no other way out. There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. For real, that's it, man. We gotta come by the door. You know, his salvation is of this, is of these characteristics, is of this mind. Ain't no other way to him. Ain't no other way into the kingdom.
Right. Every other way is gonna be difficult because the way of a transgressor is hard.
Right.
You get me? The way of a transgressor is hard. So if the way of a transgressor is hard, what about those that don't transgress, that walk according to Yah's way with the fullness of heart, wholeheartedly toward the Most High Yah? Wouldn't there be an opposite? Wouldn't there be a flip of a coin? Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have some adversity here and there, but for the most part, you're going to have shalom. I mean, when will the point come in where you have the shalom that surpasses all understanding? Because that's for those that walk, that truly fully apply themselves and walk in obedience, that you would have this type of shalom. And so that means that's the ones that yielded, that applied themselves, right? Once you apply yourself and you yield, it becomes easy. If we took our time to, when we're dealing with a situation or whatever it may be, to palau, right? And to seek Abba, to keep Yah's Torah at the forefront of our heart at all times, right? To be mindful that these things are going forth in any situation, man. We would have that shalom. That's not that we can't control what people do around us, right? But we can control ourselves. We can do discipline, have discipline of ourselves. And then we can't be so quick to point the finger to try to call somebody wicked to speak up on the thing and speaking up on the matter. Man, we got to be real, bro. Some people be manipulating and doing all kind of, and I applaud that the Most High Yah would really show up and shut these people's mouth, man. I'm not even asking that the Most High destroy the people, but that the Most High would bring them to a point where they can really see and recognize that they can really teshub and repent, man. Because that's what it's all about. It's about saving souls. It's about saving the fashion, saving life, saving souls, man, that we may live, man. But people got to be willing. And sometimes perception of a thing could be distorted based on a previous teaching or a way of an understanding of a thing was brought forth that they hold fast to. So when the truth of a matter come about, it seems strange, and people are so hesitant to hear these matters and these things right there because of what they receive from their beloved moral, whoever they receive, whatever they receive from in that area. So it's like, come on, y'all. May the Most High Yah cause people to really see and hear the voice of Mashiach, the Ruach of prophecy, come forth every time he come forth. For those that really have a desire to really do it according to the Most High Yah. Because everybody say we all have a desire to do what's pleasing to the Most High Yah, right? Now, we know that there's different levels. People might be strong in areas, whereas other people may not be as strong as other areas. That's something that I have to consider too, because what may be easy to me may be hard to another person, right? So I can't always be like, man, what's wrong with him? Okay, well, you might be easy for you on that end, okay, but this person may not see. It may not be as easy with this person, though. But when it comes to trusting the Most High Yah, bro, that should be easy for all of us, for those that really desire Abba to move on your behalf. What else do you have?
What else do you got? Like really? I
Where else
mean,
we
we got
gonna go?
what else? What else
Like,
do you have? Go ahead, B. Now say go
no,
share. What you saying? What you saying?
no, I was saying, it's like what uh Peter said. You know, where else we gonna go? I was talking to Masha. He was like, everybody else done left. You ain't
Right.
gonna leave too? He just said, man, where we
Mhm.
gonna go?
Right. You had the words of life. We ain't
You
gonna
got
know
the
ain't
words
nothing
of
else.
life. That's
Yeah,
what
so
we have
that's how
to
we
be
should
out
be.
here. Go ahead.
There you go. I yield. Go ahead, Aki.
No, I was yielding to you to go ahead and take it back.
Well, that's all I was just. I'm about to land with this. When you hear the word. See, okay. When consider the ancestors of old that was brought out of Mitzrayim in the wilderness, right? They seen all these wonders and everything, and all they had to do was adhere to what was told them. That's all they had to do was listen, right, and do. And that's when I say as simple as that, it's like, man, well, what was stopping us from hearing what y'all say? Because now, in this time, it's not even the point of because some people have the capacity to really hear something and really trust and move off their trust. But see, the thing is, what had happened was there's been a breach where things other than the truth has infiltrated, and people have held fast to that, and because things didn't happen or didn't come about based off trust in that truth, it became hard because it's like, man, what's going on? Because supposed to do this ain't it. But then it's like, okay, because the teaching is off, the teaching is flawed, it's wrong. You move it. If there's a certain address to get to a particular place, and then somebody come along maliciously and give you the wrong address and say, yeah, this address, go over here, this is how you get there. You trying to find, you know what I mean? Because you done lost the paper or whatever. You done lost the paper, the address, and you trying to ask somebody that they know where a specific place is. Now, mind you, let's say you don't have no Google or none of that. You just trying to, there's somebody trying to, be mean or whatever. They come and give you the wrong address and you follow those addresses to a T, but you end up in the wrong place. You're not in the place that you're supposed to be because you didn't follow the right address, because you didn't have the right instruction, because you didn't have the right teacher. That's the whole thing about it. And it just seek Yah, man. The whole thing about it is seek Yah wholeheartedly, man, and ask Yah to reveal things to you. Not only that, but to reveal motives of people's heart when they speaking, whatever they bringing forth. Me, my brother here, whoever speaking, ask Abba Yah to reveal to you the motive, to reveal to you, is these things true? Are they coming from a pure place? Is this, what motive do they have? Ask these things of Yah, man. You don't think Yah gonna reveal? He's a revealer of secrets. He'll give it to you. I digress.
He most definitely will reveal it to you. May he reveal it to you in its due season, that you might receive the latter rain. Well, that's what we have for y'all today, brethren. I hope uh you received something from this. Please like, share, subscribe. There's a lot of meat on this bone today. Not to not to toot my own horn or nothing, but I feel like the most of y'all move in this and gave some understanding and some insight to be able to say certain things, be able to show certain things, and if you receive it receive it rightly, you should be able to get some edification out of this. That's what we're here for. We're not here of ourselves. We're here to be servants, servants of the Most High Yah, servants to our brethren, our sisterin, and we just pray that these words come back not void, not come back void. So,
That's right.
Abba willing, we should have a new moon tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken.
Y'all willing? Yeah, tomorrow night, I think we'll be on the lookout for it to see. So if that's the case, Aqua, y'all willing? We coming back to do another, another.
Well, is I made some I made some plans around it being tonight for
Hmm.
tomorrow,
Okay.
but I'm definitely open tomorrow for it. Same time, same channel. I'm with it.
Right.
I'll be willing.
Hey, Sister Cindy too. She said something in the chat about how some is on milk and some is on strong meat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what That's what people need to realize too, is that we know everybody's not on the same level of things. Yet don't persecute those that are. Like, you need those that are. You even need those that's on milk. We all need each other, man. Because it
Hmm.
might be some things that, even though there's people that's focusing on the strong meat, those that's on milk bring back to your remembrance a foundational thing, or whatever. It's all,
That's
something that
right.
can,
I was
yeah.
thinking that too. Brought that thing on. Go ahead.
Told her, yeah, because y'all was told, man, it's just the truth. That's why I say you cannot, don't be proud, don't be like that against your brothers and sisters, man. We all have need. You can't say of your body part, even if it's of a least significance that you may think is insignificant or whatever. That thing got a major plate. That's why it's on the body. It's a reason it's on there. I don't need these eyebrows. What is it there for? I don't.
Baby
Shave
don't
your
need
whole eyebrow.
eyebrows.
Yeah, shave your whole eyebrows and eyelashes. You walking around looking like a shaved bird. And not realizing the significance of what the eyelashes does in protecting the eye, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that, man.
That's
I don't
right.
need that. I don't need this thumb. I'm gonna cut these thumbs off.
Yeah.
You trying to hold things with
Now you can't drink
your
your soda now because
I don't need
milk
these
ain't
big
right.
toes. I don't need these
Now
big
you
toes. What
can't
my
stand
sister,
up straight. Yeah.
right.
Now
And
you
then for
see
my
you need them.
sisters, then my sisters say, what they say? Sister Uriah and Nico was talking about the little pinky toe with no nail. You
Oh
better paint that little paint on that little thing. That thing is there for a reason.
yeah. You put a little
I'm just being
smile
silly
on
now,
her face,
y'all.
man. She been
I
over
look.
there. They didn't have no thoughts or nothing on the lesson or nothing.
So yeah.
Just observing today. She just listening.
But yeah, we are the people, man. Aki and me, and I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it just to be saying it because it's us. But may the Most High Yah show forth His servants, His children, His sons, right? And may the motives be shown for what they really are, really, man. To show that these people, man, that person, Abba is able to give a vision and give people to know, man, that person is really truly a son of the Most High Yah. That person really truly a child of the Most High Yah. That person is really truly a hob of the Father, man. Like, for real, man, because we not pointing people to ourselves, bro. We pointing people back to the Father, what the Father desire is, man. And I know people say the same thing and everything like that, but that's our desire, bro. We ain't trying to get people unto ourselves or trying to, mess up anybody's coming sim. Now we want people to know, listen, how beautiful it's gonna be when we all are moving according to the way that the Abba designed for it to be done, the way He said it in full essence, man. But you know what? I'm gonna have to yield on this thing because it's about that's Yah's time and what Yah gonna do and how Yah gonna do a thing. So let Yah do His thing, how He gonna do His thing. So I'm just gonna rest and trust Yah, and I expect and even give you suggestion that you all do the same and watch Yah bring these things to the forefront. I understand now, but Yahweh, Basham, Yahshua, Mashiach, hallelujah.
All the things. So be it. Real quick, when you're speaking of the unity that y'all is gonna bring, we got to give a shout out to the Hebron Men's Gathering. For those of you that don't know about it, like to hear about it, made a video about it. Here it go. Let me see. I wonder can people hear this? Cindy, can you hear this?
Can't tell me it's not something to
Cindy?
this gathering. Can't tell me it's not bigger than us. Can't tell me it's not something biblical about
Can you
what we
hear it
doing.
out?
Yes, sir. I can
Can't
hear. I
tell
just
me it's
put
not
some
something
chatting
about what
on.
we doing. That it's not impacting brothers' lives. It's not impacting brothers' ruachs. Can't tell me it's not something that's meant to be. That's meant to restore the broken places, the breaches in the wall. That's what it is about. And that's what it's doing. It's brothers being healed. It's brothers finding what they've been looking for. And they gonna go from this place different than they were when they pulled up. They're gonna miss this. They're gonna long for this. Hallelujah, hallelujah. came away from prayer. Still brothers back there praying. And everybody that's here, everything that's being done here, it led to this. It led to this. Brothers travel from all over, sacrifice, forsook, inconvenience to be here. And they being repaid for it. They being behooved. They being helped. All praises to the Most High Yah. All praises to the Most High Yah. He does things in his own ways. He heals in his own ways. He cures in his own ways. Brothers that don't believe the same, don't keep the same Shabbats, don't got the same understanding of Scripture, but yet they can come together and heal each other with the knowledge and the understanding that each individual has. Iron sharpens iron. That's what we see. That's what we feel. We feel Yah. We don't just read them, we feel them. You humble yourself. Pray. Outside in nature, not shut up in four walls. It's different. It hit different. Hallelujah for your ability. Hallelujah for the elders that sacrifice. Prepare a place like this that we can come and we can do what it is that we do. Hallelujah. We wanted to broadcast this. We wanted to put it out there so people could understand what it was, understand what they missed, understand what it killed for them. You know everybody ain't gonna come. Everybody ain't meant to come. But you gotta ask yourself, if everybody ain't meant to come, you gotta ask yourself why you wouldn't. You knew what this was, if you knew what this felt like, you should ask yourself, why wasn't it on my heart to get there? And if it was on your heart, why ain't you here? Why you missing? What you doing instead?
Teach us your ways. As we come today, Abba, we ask that you would remove anything from us that is not like unto you.
Hallelujah.
Abba, we renounce any connection to the occult. We renounce any connection to fraternities and sororities. We renounce any generational curses that would seek to attach themselves to us, coming down through our family lines. Abba, we come against pornography. We renounce any and all sexual sin from our childhood on up to our adulthood, Abba Yah. We renounce any connection to witchcraft, marine spirits. We come against those things, Abba Yah. We come against those things even now. And as we seek to come into your presence and learn of what your ways, we ask that you would take these things from us. Give us a clean heart and renew a right ruach within us, Abba Yah. Let there be no confusion that we serve set apart Elohim. That it's you who give life. It's you who raise up kings and depose kings. It's you who kill. It's you who make alive. It's you. Your Ruach HaKodesh. We pray you would let your Ruach have your way amongst the men of Yasharal on today as we stand in this place. As we go about, we ask that you would cement us together. Abba, Todah Rabbah, for allowing us to gather in this place. To magnify your name, to lift up your name, to lift
Kodesh hands up to you because you are Kadosh. Abba Todarabah. We ask that you would begin to complete the work that you have started in each one of the men here. Help us as Ishas to go home and to regard our Ishas in the way that Hamashiach regarded the assembly. Help us to function as the strong leader in our home. Help us, Abba, to lose the preconceived notions that we have, our sense of fairness, the way that we think things should be. Let your will be done in our lives. Abba, as we come against challenges, help us to understand that every challenge isn't from the enemy. That sometimes you're trying to build character in us. Sometimes you're trying to build up leaders in Yasharal. Because the times are coming that we need you, Abba, even more than ever. We need you right now. We ask that your anointing would fall on us in this place. As we seek your face, Abba, let your anointing fall on us as we worship during this week, during this these coming days. As people come, let your shalom be on this place. Let your shalom be on this land.
Hallelujah.
Let us be freed, Abba. You said that we would know the truth and that the truth would make us free. And as we have come here in a spirit of truth, Abba, let there be no discord in this place, Abba. But let the men of Yasharal draw together with the understanding that you are raising up leaders, Abba. You need us to be strong leaders, not just in our household, but in this nation.
Philly, I don't think. Told I, yeah. Okay.
How do I stop that share screen? That thing's still running, man. Oh, I gotta go come out of that, go to this. Remove that from the screen. Well, anyway, shout out to Hebron Men's Gathering, man. Be there or be square. Tired of telling y'all, tired of trying to tell you about how much you need to be. You ought to be trying to tell us something about how much you need to be. Come on down. We'll leave a light on for you. You about righteousness, you about a Harbin, your brother Harbin, the Most High Yah, creator of the Shamaim and the Arat. Come on down, man.
Hey,
Each one bring one.
Shalom, Shalaki, Elder Shema said something on when you was playing in that video. Not everything is of the enemy. Most High is trying to build character on certain things that he bring about, right?
That's right.
I seen somebody share something the other day, and they were saying it was an old snippet, even though it was like it's like somebody prayed for strength and adversity came. Somebody prayed for I think it was the other way. Somebody prayed for patience and problems came. Somebody prayed for wisdom and problems came. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You give the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When we learn as a people, man, how Abba does a thing, man, we'll be so quick to stop calling it the enemy. That's like a form of blasphemy, But Abba Yah know how to
giving his esteem to another.
Right. And it's like that's Abba doing. Abba's raising up. Abba know how to train his children up. He know how to raise his children. He know how to raise his children to become turn his boys into men and his daughter, his girls into women of Yah. He know how to do these things, and he know exactly what each individual need. He know exactly what your individual heart ponders on, think on, move, and how you are. So he know exactly what's needed to bring in your life to cause you to become what Yah has preordained for you to become. So it's a beautiful thing when you see it and it played out, how some people was in this type of lifestyle before they made that transition. Then they made that transition. Now they're equipped to reach out to others that come in that light way that they came out from. Everybody wasn't street type people. So when they try to come and try to communicate with those that's in the streets or other streets, people that's in the streets ain't trying to hear. But if a one that comes from themselves, that know the lingo, know how to communicate, know how to, they're more prompt to hearing that, right? Now, the Most High Yah can do anything, but you'll see a pattern. You know what I mean? People trying to talk about smokers, like you never smoked nothing in your life, so you don't understand the struggles of smoking. Yeah, you trying to tell a person that you ain't get rid of smoking. Why you think the Most High didn't send a malak or angel in fullness to be the redemption of Yasha, to be the deliverer of Yasha? Why did he send a man? He sent his word in the form of a man so he can be identified, so he can identify with the struggles that we had to deal with in this body. And he was tempted in every area we're dealing with this body, yet he yielded to his Abba's desire, right? And now he's able to be to help us in every capacity of what we're dealing with, because he know how to empathize with what we go through. So when we learn how to reach into that and tap into that and let that take its place, man, we can do. It's nothing we can't do. But it's not that we can't. First of all, let it be known that we can't do nothing. We don't have the capacity in and of ourselves to do anything good, do anything righteous and told, but only through him, the word of Yah, in Yahushua HaMashiach, the word of Yah dwelling in us by his Ruach HaKodesh, that enables us to give us whatever intelligence or whatever needs to be done and how to carry these things out. That only comes by way of him, and we acknowledge that through and through. Be mindful. Be careful, man, of people, man, that pose themselves as true Ahabas, man, and really are haters, man, and try to make it be something that it ain't, trying to control the narrative. Person prideful. How are you prideful if you over there trusting in the Most High Yah's ability that he gave you? You trusting in him and Yah. So don't let nobody gainsay you, man. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Mama, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, daddy, whoever. Trust in what Yah's words say. Move in that capacity. Stay humble and meek in the sight of the Most High Yah, and in due time he'll lift you up. Don't let nobody. People's words are not your reality. Yah's words are your reality. Trust and believe that. Go ahead,
about the aunties and the cousins.
Aunties and cousins too. Ray Neal, all that. Ain't Linda Faye. Talking about you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna do. Man, look. Them people's words ain't your reality. It's what Yah say. But see, you can hinder yourself by trusting in the negative connotation of what people saying and get to moving in that type of way because you believe in that. So it's about what as a man believes, so is he. If you believe that, then you're gonna be that. That's what you're gonna show forth in your life. You're gonna manifest that in your life because you believe that. So it's like dealing with the matters of the heart. Huh?
That's why certain stuff you got to rebuke that. People like, I rebuke that. I ain't gonna put that on me.
Right.
I rebuke that here and now. You get talking like Luther Vandross. Here and now.
I rebuke that righteously. Righteously. Now,
like,
for real.
I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming that at all.
Like, nah, man. Y'all word said this. I'm gonna trust this and I'm gonna move in that, and I'm gonna receive everything that my Abba said I can have because I'm moving in what Yah said. You know what I mean? Trusting it. For fixing my mind around it. That's it. I don't care what everybody else say. Now people falsely accuse people all the time. They falsely accuse the Messiah himself. If they did the master of the house like that, what do you think they're gonna do to the sons of servants, of the house? They're gonna do you the same way. But stay trusted. Don't let that deter you. Stay trusting in the word of the Most High Yah and move forward. And in due time, you will see that the Most High exalts you above, and it can't be denied. And your enemy's gonna be put to shame. That's just all it is to it.
So be it. You couldn't hear me when I said that? I guess I gotta be up on the mic.
So be it. So be it.
I gotta be up on the mic. So
beautiful lesson. Y'all put that on you and brought that out so smoothly. And I know that I'm Palon, and I'm expecting that it made a connection, that people will see the connections, and that you'll go back and look at the scriptures that was posted and how they connect with one another and what's really being communicated in the script that the Most High Yah has given us to look over, to see these things, to recognize. I'll esteem the Abba Yahweh for that. Toda Yah.
Abba willing, man. I'm gonna go in. Abba willing, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna chop it up, because I know some people, man, they just got short attention spans. You're not gonna sit and listen to a 3-hour video. So I'm gonna go in and put some little snippets here, the 60 seconds here, 2-3 minutes there for y'all, man. Gotta spoon feed some of you.
Right.
Get it. I don't know how you expecting all this revelation stuff you're trying to get and understand you're trying to have. You got 60 seconds to give it to you.
Mm.
Come on, man. You really kind of setting yourself up for failure. It's really them little tidbits is something to make you hopeful to spark something to say, you know what, I need to go back, watch the whole thing.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. You
Do some research.
expecting something from y'all. Y'all is expecting something from you. You gotta
Right.
sow some seed. You got to till that ground. And this kind of stuff, man, y'all don't deal with easy. Nobody ever really got nothing easy. There was some kind of travail that went. The only thing that happened was a person's mindset on the travail. To where at one time they might say, man, woe is me. But once they build up a certain strength and a certain understanding, man, that was nothing.
Right.
And that's really what it boils down to, is that these things by which we assume to be hard, man, I can't sit down for all that time. I can't do all this studying. I can't do well, in the latter days, you gonna look at it like, man, I don't see how I didn't do more.
Mm.
So that's why I said, don't be dismayed. Don't be stressing over your current circumstance. Look to one who's able to bring you through, who has promised to bring you through. He said, in the land of your captivities, I will, bring you out of. So, that's with any kind of difficulty, any kind of issue, said he will not suffer his servant to see decay. He won't leave him in Sheol. That's that whole thing about redeeming his righteous ones, those that seek after him. He said he will exalt them in the latter days. That all those that ridicule, that mock, that persecute him, they gonna see his esteem in that day.
That's right. Told all y'all for that.
You know, it's gonna be some we mocked. And we gonna be like, oh, he's that dude. And it's gonna be some we thought was that dude, like Hasatan, the prince of Assyria and all that. You're gonna be like, this
This the
him?
one? Right. This the one that brought
Man, come
out.
on, man. So let's be mindful of that. Let's be mindful that things ain't always as they appear. Person might appear like they don't know nothing. They ain't got nothing for me. They ain't gonna show me none of y'all because they don't have these big assemblies. They ain't got 1,000 likes and 1,000 views on their video and all this old stuff. Man, I was listening to Joshua, and his views is like low too. I'm like, man, this brother deep. This one of the kind of people I would listen to. Like,
Right.
it's like, man, like it be brothers like this that really bring a word of y'all to you, man. Be having no view. Meanwhile, somebody talking about some straight folly, just going through the roof, man. And it's sickening, really, to be honest. Not even so much about myself, but even seeing a brother like that.
With the
That
magnitude of the wisdom that the Most High has given. You talking about Yahusha, Yosef,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll be sharing him on the thing too. Yeah, that brother got some wisdom, man. The Most High Yah is Baruch him for real. But I ain't gonna speak too much. I didn't mean to cut you off. Like I just wanted to, share
Oh no,
with you, on that, man. And may the Most High Yah increase the brother even more, man, with what he got going on, man, and bringing forth the truth. He started to do it even more. It seemed like because I'm starting to see more,
oh yeah.
like TikTok stuff of him bringing things out. He got a book coming out too, family. He got a book about the significance of numbers. I forgot the name of the book, but it's come. Just be on the lookout for that. The same one that brought up the about the book of wisdom. He got a book coming out about numbers, the significance of numbers, and how it's incorporated in scriptures, and the Most High use numbers. How I use number, the meaning of these of the numbers and stuff like that. Very powerful. He was on the Gird Up Men's prayer calls this past Sunday, and man, he brought out some information about that, man, and it was very interesting, man, and all esteem Abiyah for that, man. So yeah, check him out, man, and even his the things that he's bringing forth in regards of wisdom and sevenfold punishments and things like that. I don't want to massacre his but I'm gonna go back and check it out even more. I don't want to massacre none of his stuff. I don't. Number of respect
That's
here.
one of the real brothers, man. I rocks
Yeah.
with him. Paisley Brown. Now Paisley gets a number, but a lot of his stuff trickle over from the music and all that. But man, we really have to be mindful of who we give ear to and who, because these people be the people that really put in a lot of work with y'all, a lot of prayer, a lot of supplication, a lot of studying. And they are laborers, and they worthy of they high up. They worthy of a certain amount of honors, and I just want to big up the brother Joseph Joshua. You find him on YouTube, um, all
Facebook
around
and TikTok.
Facebook and TikTok. Paisley Brown, Paisley the Hebrew. You find him on Facebook, YouTube. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but he's an artist as well. You can find him on Bandcamp. Shout out to them. It's many other brothers. You know what I'm saying? These ain't the only brothers. They got a lot of these. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't as many as it is false prophets and false leaders and false guides. So when we find the real ones, we need to put a light on them, man. Let people know it is people. But it says 7,000 of them that have not bowed the knee to Baal, man. So just letting y'all know, other people out here that's doing it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you. You got anything else for them out you want to remind?
Nah, sir, not right now. No.
My brother is gonna be leading the Gird Up Nation men's prayer call. That's gonna be this coming Sunday. Shout out to him.
I say more like a get an honest speaker, bringing some, sharing some, truth.
Man,
As a Yahoo, I'm just saying, bro. As
disregard my brother's modesty for a little while and give him his honors. We're gonna be bringing it out. Anytime one of the real ones get the opportunity to have the platform and bring the word that Yah has placed on their heart, man, we gotta exhort stuff like that, man, and give a round of applause. It's like when a people's champ get the stage, we gotta clap, we gotta give a big hand clap for that. Because this ain't no paid agent. This ain't somebody that got their hand in the cookie jar and all this old stuff. This somebody that's real, that's gonna say what need to be said. We gotta appreciate that kind of stuff. Said Toda,
That's right. That's right.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna get to talk to some of John Boy people this Friday, all but willing. I'm gonna tell them about the need for this fellowship, the need to come out from under those that sow discord among us and stuff with these leaders and stuff, trying to keep us apart and all that, man. I'll be willing, man. Listen, I'm gonna let them use me.
Right, let them use you. I'm pull on for you and supplicate that I would do. I mean, like fullness of power to bring that forth. And that's like a big deal for you, man. Because you said that John Boy was one of the people that you listened to for a while, that you rock with like that, man. And to be accepted to bring that out on there, that's honored.
Yeah, behind the men's gathering.
So yeah.
I sent him a link or whatever. He said it's dope. He got him a podcast. He can start it up and everything. So, hey, man, it's opportunity. It's the album, man. I'm just the servant.
That's right.
Serving. It's he see fit in this time and this season to raise his men up, and he using brothers like us. You know what I'm saying? Like. And it take the body, man. It wasn't just me that said, I'm going to do this. To be honest with you, it was just an ideal that, to be honest with you, if left just on me, that thing might have fizzled or nothing. It took me meeting my brother and for him to kind of put like a little gut check down on me. Like, man, I'm tired of talking. What we going to do? We got to really do something, not just be talking. I'm like, well, we going to do something then.
He said, do something with it. This is the same one that don't know how to swim because the brother jumped off the cliff into the water. He jumped off the cliff into the water.
I got a somewhat of a knowledge of swimming. Now I ain't gonna let the brothers act like I just ain't know nothing. Now I knew something. It just had been quite some time since I had exercised it, And I had never jumped from such height as I jumped off then. I didn't jump off a diving board before, but
Right.
not that height. And it was a thing of, it wasn't wise for me to really do it how I did it. I needed to get in there, get my bearings back together, get familiar with floating and moving. That was kind of like jumping from the breast to the steak was what I did.
He did it though, and he said we was joking about this thing, man. How he was drowning gracefully, and you couldn't even
Hey,
tell.
because I had my brothers, man. I can't be crying out, help, all this stuff, my brothers, man. It's a men's gathering. You gotta die with that.
Yeah, we
Man,
did have fun. We enjoyed. Yeah, we enjoyed coming together, man. The way we came together, and how we did the events that took place there. The place where you see, the place where where we jumped off. It's a waterfall, and it's another place that's higher than that cliff where we was at.
oh,
But
I don't
I
want
don't
no
think none
part
of
of
us was
that.
gonna jump from that part. But we did jump from the parts we jumped from, and all the steam Abba Yah was with my brother here because he's still here with us. He was struggling in that water though, y'all,
I
and I
ain't gonna
keep
lie
saying,
though.
go
I ain't
ahead.
gonna make no promises though. But we're gonna take a look at that second level, man. We're gonna take a look at it. I might have to practice. I, I might have to be might have to train like Rocky. I'm gonna be in the swimming pools and stuff, swimming in the little pools, get myself together. Then maybe when I get there, I'll check that thing on out, man. But that's oof.
Yeah, that water
That's
pretty deep.
that's a good 100 plus feet right there.
Mm,
Maybe that's about a good, that first one a good 50
mm,
to 60. So that next one probably another 30
yeah.
feet on top of that. So it's up there. It's about 80, 90 feet jump. Now. It's about four to five stories. Come on. I don't know. It's up there. It's high.
It's high. It's high. It's high enough.
Hey, I was looking at the picture of the video of yo jump. From that angle, that thing looked way up there.
Mm,
It was like 12 tries, one
yeah.
nation, and you jump. You say Yahoo. I said
Yeah.
that angle right there. That's oof.
Man. You see Solomon jump off that thing. He got his hand on his nose, holding his
Man,
nose.
I was like, what is Solomon doing, man? He can't take it. But now Solomon is what made me get up there because I had rested in the fact of not going.
Hmm.
Kafer said he was going first, and I was like, well, I'll be with you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't planning on going. And but see, the original phone call was me, Kafer, and Solomon talking about the idea of the men's gathering. So
Hmm.
Kafer said he was going. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll be with you. But when Solomon said he was going, that kind of put it on like that. I'd be the only one who was on the call to start this thing, ain't gonna jump off this thing. So I was like, man, I can't let him do me.
Yeah, 'cause you would have been
I ain't no
done.
punk. I ain't scared. I was scared to death.
He held his own though.
When I got up on that thing and looked down, that's why they be like, when you up at the high heights, don't look down. Don't look down. Man, I looked down on that thing. I said, man, you know what? If I walk down from this thing, they all gonna laugh at me. It's only one way. You can't be right now. Listen, we still men. We still black men. You know what I'm saying? Like all the jokes and all that stuff go right along with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I can't do it. You gotta be man. Granted, out of 30 people, only about 6 of them jumped that day.
Hmm.
You think them other 24 people wouldn't gonna talk about me like a dog if I walk down from that thing? So I wasn't gonna play with them. So yeah, but that's that confidence too, man, that comes from brotherhood too. Cause that whole chant thing, that 12 tries, one night, that thing helped. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
lie. That thing helped. Cause I was dismayed. You know, I said, be ye not dismayed. I was dismayed at that thing. Woe is me. What am I doing up here?
That 12 tribe one nation is like a what you call it, pep rally call,
Yeah.
a war call. It kind of does
A
something
war
to you.
cry.
Yeah, it's war cry does something to you. Like, oh, I can do it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I forgot I can't swim.
Look,
Nah, I'm
you
just
know
messing
what
with
put
you.
us
You get
all kind of to shame though? At least
yeah,
all
that
the
young.
scary people who ain't go. A little boy got up there.
He sure did. Like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing. He ain't need no 12 tribes, one nation, or nothing. That boy got up
He
there, looked, and jumped
jumped like, whoa,
as a
wow, that's it.
testimony. Like you
That is a
gotta be like
testimony.
a child. You gotta come like a child, man. Listen, no fear. Just come on with it.
He sure did do that thing.
Did that thing. I
Teachable
don't
moments.
I
Teachable
don't even know
moments.
that little boy name, but he should live in infamy.
Mm-hmm.
All the grown men, and it was people talking to me. I would do it, man, but you know, man, that little boy got up there and jumped. I think he was one of the first ones to jump too.
Mm-hmm. I think he may have jumped it off. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It was other people that was there that was not with us.
Yeah, it was other people that came to do that. Now, once you in the mode of doing it, you know it ain't really nothing. But for your first time, you ain't used to doing no stuff like that. You ain't used to heights and all that. Oh, listen, it's that's why now we call it the leap of courage because it's gonna take some. It's gonna take some gumption in you. You know, if you ain't used to it, you're gonna need some help. So if you'd like to come on down, man, to the Hellbrun Men's Gathering, where we'll go down to Bathsheba Springs. I think that's what it's called down
It's
there.
Bathsheba Springs. Is that Bathsheba Springs? It's. I know
Think.
it's an area there called Bathsheba Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that one was it had like a Cherokee name. The one we went to
Oh,
was a
well,
Cherokee name one. I think.
come on down. Test
Come
your
on
leap
down.
of faith. I'm gonna be the one on the rocks with the staff talking about 12 tribes, one nation for you, man.
So you didn't
Man,
win. You didn't win. What they call that?
hey,
You did
I done
your rite of
made my
passage.
bones. I made my
Right.
bones.
So you did your rite of passage, huh?
Hey, yeah. I'm on the path. Your turn. Yeah, man. Anyway, man, all praise to the Most High, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Abba willing, join us tomorrow. Also, I'll be speaking on a Google Meets tonight, speaking about
Yeah.
the Hellbrun Men's Gathering. What is the topic of that thing? Let's see what he said the topic was. I think it was something about Daniel again, wasn't it? Uh, 1 second. Slow. Yep. The 3 decrees of Daniel, chapter 9. Here you go. Give me the opportunity to speak to some people. I'm gonna speak to them. Abba willing. So yeah, man. Join us next time. Could be tomorrow. Abba willing. Same time, same channel. All praise to the Most High Yah. Thanks to His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's 12 tribes,
One nation.
one nation. Hallelujah.
But yeah.